Hey, am I live? What's up? Oh, wait, Dave, you're in the chat, aren't you? Here. Since I know you're just going to be sitting around for the next couple hours anyway, doing nothing, I have a new job for you. All right? Ha ha ha, never let Dave get a rest. Here. I'll put these 3 files on the NAS. You can start putting those into a spreadsheet, if you don't mind. There you go, buddy. Yeah, I know you woke me up. Sorry for being late. Anyway, everyone get your coffees out. It's time to sip. The plan is I'm doing the sip, and then because we missed yesterday's gaming stream, Dave and I will do a bonus gaming stream a little bit later. TF2 server will come soon.tm. It's on the short list of things to do. Hello, everyone. What's going on? What's up? My plan today, an hour and a half. I'll do a bonus actually going over Kanye properly without like a shit show of a gangbang stream that was. So, but that's not going to happen today. That'll be like maybe in the next couple days. But Jesus. But what's going to happen right now is 1, super chat catch up from yesterday. Sorry everyone that we had to go. 2, I'll give you the news that I've collected, and we'll have some fun with that. 3, I'll read any super chats that come in today, and then after that, Dave and I will go and we'll probably stream like Sonic Frontiers or something. So make sure you guys stick around and come back for the Sonic show after this. Okay? That's pretty much the plan. Yeah, TF2 server. So I run a Minecraft server. The Minecraft server is kind of dead at this point. And, it's partially my fault for sure, and the way I've neglected it. I am going to relaunch it because people want a new map on the Minecraft server, so I'll do that. However, the PC that I use for the Minecraft server is hyper overpowered. So maybe what I'll do, actually, is I will also run a TF2 server off the same hardware. I'll buy like a little network card that allows it to go a lot faster than the onboard, and then I'll run TF2 and Minecraft. Is the ableism mental illness crowd not defending Yay hypocritical? Of course it is, but they don't care about hypocrisy. I would join in the coffee, but sadly I'm homesick from work. Ginger ale it is for me right now. Feel better, dude. Feel better. So these are all the things that I plan to do, and let's get started. No time to sit around and chat with you guys this time. No time for nonsense. Let's go. Mine Bitcoin with it. No time for nonsense. Let's get right to it, friends. Let's head over to the super chats and we'll read yesterday's. Actually, you know what I should do? I haven't even advertised this stream on Twitter yet. I'll do that right now. Okay, here we go. Super chat catch up stream from yesterday. Join it. There we go. I typed it all out. Let's copy, put this. Actually, here. While I'm doing this, look at this address. You see this address on the screen? The address on the screen is my P.O. box. If you want to mail me things, I will open it on the stream, guys. So please mail me your garbage. I would very much appreciate it. Okay? Send me a package. Oh, if you want to send me a game that we'll play on Game Boomers. Someone sent us Mario Soccer a couple months ago. We didn't get to it right away, but I think we'll be doing that as our next 4Play Friday. So Mario Soccer on the Switch. But whatever you send us, whatever it is, it'll be highly appreciated. Unless you actually send us, like, garbage or body parts or something. I wouldn't appreciate that very much. Posting on social media. I got a Truth Social account, guys. I can actually post on there now. Tired? Yeah, I'm a little bit. I slept in. Oof. Okay. The occasional sip. Thanks for the $2, Stug. Let's go with the supers. It's time. God damn it. Shut up, Facebook. All right. There's a pipe bomb in your mailbox. Please don't pipe bomb me, you cucks. Okay, there's the Club Q. There's the Bayonetta stream super chats. Here's the Kanye super chats. Okay. I'm just going to find the ones that we haven't done. We already did Ye is pronounced Yay. Pull Aiden into the call for the funny. Like that Archcast with like 7 people. That was a funny train wreck. Right, okay, so this is where we started. Lord Commissar Spartan, $5. Pull Aiden into the call for the funny. Like that Archcast with 7 people. That was a train wreck. Dude, it was still a fucking train wreck last night, guys. Like, what a shit show last night was. Jesus. It was fun, but Christ, that was too many people. I'll only do those once in a while. They're pretty fun. Maybe I'll do them for like big events, but like you know what? Those are good for like an election night, right? Just crazy streams where we're just waiting for results to come in. It's okay, Titanium. It's okay. 30 shekels. Jesus. 30 shekels from Ian743. At what point do we all become complicit in enabling Kanye's self-destruction? Just talking about him might be causing him harm. He's addicted to attention, and we supply it. Yeah, there's that. Like that's like a similar argument to like the serial killer. We shouldn't publicize his face or say his name because he wants attention, kind of thing. There's probably an aspect to that, right? But at the same time, like I think the real villains here are definitely Milo and Nick for doing this to him. Tennyson Bachols, $5. Love you all. Thank you. Lord Commissar Spartan, €10. Paparazzi don't deserve human rights. If you're going to pester a person all day, every day, then the person you're pestering deserves the right to pull a Glock on you. Jesus. I mean, I don't disagree emotionally, but there's probably something legally wrong there. Laganape at $2. So is like Kanye is Kanye always off his meds? He's currently off them for sure. Like Kanye has always been a little bit strange. He said a few weird things. He's been heated before. But like, and to be honest, he's always been kind of an asshole. But you know what? It's never been anywhere like this. The past week have been insane for Kanye. Like, holy shit. Oh. You ain't got the answers, Dev, says Keyblade Master Andy for $2. I have all the answers, buddy. Brett Werderstein, $5. This is kind of similar to the Jimmy Dore episode on Sitch and Adam. Wasn't that a shit show as well? Sitch and Adam are like the most reasonable guys, and yet they seem to attract some nutsos sometimes. Spooky for $5. Hey, Dev, when you gonna show your bussy on stream? You guys want me to start an OnlyFans? Keyblade Master Andy, $2. Milo is about to present some evidence. If it happened, I missed it. And I still haven't seen anything about Milo. Honestly, I think Milo's just hanging on for dear life. This is his last chance at having a real fucking career. That's his angle. Nick Fuentes, meanwhile, is delusional. He's a young kid who thinks he's getting closer and closer to like real power. But they're both just using Kanye. Lord Commissar Spartan, $10. Thank you. I have a theory about why Kanye is doing all this. What if he's being martyred to pull media heat away from Orange Man? Also, wasn't Milo riding Trump in the Timcast he was on before the one with Kanye? No. Milo has hated Trump pretty much since 2020 for destroying the right. And Milo has made it his mission to destroy Trump. And I think that's why Milo brought Nick Fuentes into a meeting with Trump, because he knew that Nick's presence would be so toxic, it would destroy Trump. And I think it probably will, to be honest. I think Trump's done after this. Like, between this and then Trump's desire to terminate the Constitution, per his own words, which we'll get to. I have that link in the pile. Trump's done. Like, Trump's fucked. Trump is fucked, you know? Give me a moment. Give me a moment. Okay, fixed. $5, Joel Diesel. No message, though. Thank you. Aaron for $2. Lilith is right. That's not a comment I hear all the time. But Lilith is a nice person. Commander Shepard, $20. I watch your videos. Thank you for the 20, dude. I watch your videos regularly. First time catching you live. Good job on staying sane and on point. Nice to see another leaf in the tubes. Thanks very much, dude. Appreciate it, Commander Shepard. You should have played Femship, though. Random user, $10. Thank you. To Dev, I find the argument that sexual attraction is inalienable and part of someone's soul. I think we'll find it true, as I fear it will enable pedos. I can't feel right with this, and it hurts. Here's the nuance pill take on pedophiles, okay? Pedophilia is probably just as immutable as other forms of sexual attraction, like being gay, for example, or being bi, or being straight. You know, you can't convert a straight person to be gay, despite what sissy hypnotists will tell you, right? You can't convert a gay person to be straight, despite what the gay conversion therapists will tell you, okay? So the problem of pedophilia is probably an intractable one. It seems to be the case that it will probably be the case that people who are pedophiles can't be treated. But at the same time, we also cannot allow them to offend. We can't. It doesn't matter if they were born this way. Like, if I were someone who was born such that my eyeballs constantly squirted out acid and just like blasted across the room and just like melted people, it wouldn't be my fault, but I would be a danger, and you would be right to suppress me. It's the same thing. Lobotomy says otherwise. It can be treated with 9mm. Like, you always hear a story of like the virtuous pedophile who knows what he is and then goes off to live in the fucking mountains on his own. And I mean, I'm sure those stories aren't really that true, but when they are, I think that person is probably commendable. $5, Lucifer the Doberman. Norwegians are better than Swedes. Ha 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 ha. Arch will know. You will know the truth. Holtznader, $10. Thank you very much. Hi guys, I'm pro-Ukraine. Though I want it said that if all of South America entered into a military alliance with Russia and Mexico, Mexico was currently bribing Putin's son, the U.S. would have something to say. Yeah, so there's definitely like this is one thing that I hardcore don't agree with people like Aiden on, is that the USA has some terrible crimes under its belt. Therefore, the USA is just as bad as every other player in the great game. And they're all moral equivalents. And it's like, nope. No. The others have done worse. We are simply the least evil. And we can criticize our evil. But those people's solutions, the cure is worse than the disease, frankly. And it's kind of the same thing here. Like, I am ultimately pro-Ukraine if I have to take a side. But the thing is, I don't have to take a side. I can kind of sit in Canada and just be chill about it and watch the news, right? Televised, $10. Have you been red-pilled on the FBI and CIA question? That these organizations are just the deep state enforcement arm of the Democrat/left wing? I don't think it's quite the way that you describe. Because even when like a Republican takes office in the White House, he doesn't completely gut the entire staff of the FBI and CIA. He might change out the heads, and policy might be different, but the actual like individuals, the civil servants who are working to actually implement the policy, they remain the same, and they have their biases. So I understand the deep state criticism. But one, it can't be any other way, because where else are you going to find competent people to do that job? They're already in that job, right? And two, I don't think that they are the enforcement arm of the Democrats or the left wing. I think when they do occasionally act against America's interests, I think it's way less than you guys think it is. But I do think there's definitely the possibility that it happens sometimes. I think when it happens, they're not the enforcement arm of the Democrats or the left wing. They're more like the enforcement arm of like neoliberalism, I think. €2, J-Rob, thank you. I am queer because I'm German and British. Based. Lord Commissar Spartan, $5. Invite Aiden, you nerds. She wants in. Okay, listen, we did, all right? We did, and she apologized for her sins. Titanium Dragoon Neo, $5. Aiden says she's editing. Bring her in. I did it already. You fucks. J-Rob, $2, euros. Mercedes, BMW, etc. What did you do between 33 and 45? Okay, this is kind of part, this question is kind of part of what I was saying about George Soros, right? There were a lot of collaborators. Individuals, even like other Jewish individuals who sold out their neighbors to get themselves ahead. You had companies, private businesses where the Nazis marched in, pointed guns at them and told them, you work for us now because, you know, they had a totalitarian government they were setting up. And the German command economy basically required control of private business. Like, not everyone can hide Jews under the floorboards. It would be good if they did, but not everyone has the moral fortitude to do that, you know? And that's what I was saying, is that I'm not going to excuse anything that George Soros or anyone else did after 1945, but man, if you're like a young kid and you're faced with it, it's easy to say, I would stick to my morals and I would die for them. It's easy to say that when you're on the fucking internet, but like when you actually have the gun pointed at you and the choice is sell out your friend or die, and then you both die, I don't think that many people actually have that sort of moral fortitude. At least not when they're fucking 13 or 14 years old. Wait, my needling of Aiden after the Soros bit was stupid? No, I was correct. Giga Chad. But yeah, like, I gotta do a video on Stuart Eisenstadt at some point, because Stuart Eisenstadt was a guy who negotiated reparations from German businesses like BMW and like, you know, like IBM had a German wing that collaborated, Deutsche Bank, you know, all these businesses. His job was to negotiate reparations from those businesses to the survivors of individual Jews, either individual Jews who worked at those businesses as slaves or their children. And he negotiated reparations from the German companies to the individual Jewish people involved. And he spent like 15 years with these negotiations, and they were highly publicized in the West in the 1990s. But it was these publications that revived the idea that fascism is capitalism in decay, because the headlines all read, you know, German banker or German captain of industry or something collaborated with the Nazi party. That's what all the headlines read. And, you know, reparations paid from German collaborators, stuff like this. And that kind of revived the idea in the modern sense of fascism being hand in hand with capitalism, when that's really not the case at all. So that question, Mercedes, BMW, etc. What did you do between 33, 45? Like, there's basically two sides of the coin there. It's like on the one hand, you know, they were forced. On the other hand, you still need to make things right. And George Soros, after 1945, certainly did not make things right. And that's the issue. The issue is not what he did during the war. You do what you have to do to survive. The issue is what he did after the war. That's what makes him a bad person. Hmm. 30 shekels from Ian. Thank you. I am a Jew. The Holocaust probably means something different to me than it is for you. What does it mean to you? For me, it was another historical tragedy, among many. It was unique in some ways because most mass deaths were not quite so mechanized, and that makes it a unique situation for sure. But nonetheless, it is another component of human barbarism that we haven't necessarily left behind, even though we like to pretend that we have. But it is a historical event at this point. I don't think the Holocaust should be hanging over anyone's head. It's been 80 years at this point, you know? 2 euros from J-Rob. In China, they think Germany was based. I have a feeling that China's racism for like non-Asians is mainly directed towards black people, not Jewish people. The Matrix. What is this? What the fuck is this? Oh, this is Czech currency. Okay, 100 korunas from the Czech Republic. From Mr. Matrix. World War I and World War II were just regular wars in terms of what percentage of the population died. I don't know about that. I don't know the numbers on that. Possibly. It seems like it might be the case. I do know, however, that like in terms of we kind of lionize World War II, but in terms of active service, the Vietnam War was probably the worst for American soldiers. Like the amount of actual hours spent fighting in Vietnam per soldier is way higher than any other war. I think that's why so many soldiers came back from Vietnam like completely fucked up. You know, you had the dad who fought in World War II, and he might have seen some action, but like it was kind of intermittent. And then his son goes off to Vietnam, and he's like in a fucking pressure cooker for 3 years or something. You know what I mean? And he comes back like completely broken. It was completely different types of warfare. Aiden Paladin, $20. She bought her way back into my good graces. She's citing Jonathan Haidt here. Sacred Values and Evil Adversaries, a Moral Foundations Approach. Social Psychology of Morality, Exploring the Causes of Good and Evil. I have read the pop psychology book that he wrote, as Aiden has mentioned. Wolfsbane, $5. I feel like there may be an increase of religious mercenary groups that could be used for proxy wars, like the group that wants to bring back the ODE. I've been thinking about this for a minute. So, this place is like the Sitch and Adams show pregame. Hey, I'm nobody's pregame, though I do like those guys. But hey, god damn it. You fuckers. You're all... You know what? Wait, hold on. You fucks. You're all banned. Fuck you. Okay, so listen. Here's something I've been thinking about. Okay? Dev, now. You guys know about realism? As like there's like realism and idealism when it comes to geopolitics, right? When nations are playing the great game, and realists they basically believe that like you have great powers like the United States and Germany in World War II and Russia and China. You have these great powers, and the other countries around them are poker chips, and each power plays the great game, and they use their resources. And the ultimate goal of the realist point of view is to maintain a balance of power. The realist point of view was first really hyper-articulated by Carl Schmitt. Carl Schmitt was a lawyer and later a judge in Nazi Germany. After the Second World War, he refused denazification, and he ended up moving to Spain, where he taught law at a Spanish university, where he kept writing fascist political theory because Spain had the Francoists who were in charge for like 30 years. But the realist school, you have a lot of people in the West who are realist, like the Clintons, for example, were realist. You know, Henry Kissinger was a realist. And the idea was basically that America can do what it wants with the powers within its sphere, and America will not interrupt what happens for the powers outside of its sphere. And this maintains the delicate balance. This is the Cold War. This is why the Cold War was the way it was. So that if the two powers are relatively balanced, then you're not going to have a complete nuclear conflagration that destroys everything. Right? So America didn't care if there were various populist uprisings in Eastern Europe, because it was not their sphere of influence. However, America, and at the same time, America pushed liberal hegemony, as Aiden said, within its own sphere. So you have this realist view of politics. The issue with the realist view of politics is that it presupposes that all players in the game are nation states. And that's wrong. And this super chat here from Wolfsfane about the $5, the increase in religious mercenary groups, that's actually what's happening. You know, you if you look at, for example, political Islam is a political force that is not tied to a nation state. It exists across nations. It exists across ethnicities, and yet it still has political directives. It still makes moves, right? And the problem with confronting political Islam is that you've had realists who the main reason why like America has failed and failed and failed again in the Middle East is because they are taking a realist great power approach to Middle Eastern politics, and they're just getting fucking shellacked every single time, because they're not dealing with powers and their spheres of influence and their chips. They're dealing with a completely different way of doing politics. So there are definitely like political groups that have that are making moves in the game, but they are not state based. And realism basically fails when it comes to confronting those groups. At the same time, the other dominant school of thought is idealism. And idealism is just, you know what? No, we're superior to you. This is the imperial idea, where it's like, we're going to civilize the savages, right? We're superior to you. We think that you should not be throwing the gays off rooftops for humanitarian reasons. Therefore, we will come in and impose our morals on you because you're barbarians and we're the civilized one. We have the superior ethics. This is what the left really wants to be, but as I said in the previous video, the idea kind of gets stuck in their throat when they have to declare themselves as morally superior, because they don't want to do that, but they do want to be morally superior. I'll just fucking say it. I'll be like, fuck yeah, we are superior. Fuck you, we're better. But the issue is that the problem with idealism is that it does lead to like neocon warmongering, right? Because if you're an idealist and you see like a slave state, you're going to go over there and put an end to it. You're going to go on a righteous crusade and end the slavery because it is a moral evil. But that means war. And you have some people who have seen enough of war and who want to avoid it at any cost. And so for them, the ruthless power politics of realism and the great game as a means to prevent more people from dying is an appealing option. And I can see both sides. I can see both points of view on that, because, you know, if you go back in time, we can make fun of Neville Chamberlain for his appeasement of the Nazis, but he's living in the context of World War I, which was the worst war anyone had ever seen, with untold's amount of death, and like a brutal efficiency of death that had never been seen before. And his view was, if we can avoid that, then appeasement and deals might be worth it. So there's limits to both views. It really just depends on what you're encountering, you know? So I have sympathy for people who believe in some things, even though I think they're incorrect, because I can see their point of view, and they're not like without morals. They have their reasons, and they're good reasons. Wolfspan, $2. The Ottoman Empire, for clarification. Okay, yeah, you're talking about the group that wants to bring back the Ottoman Empire for the religious mercenary groups. Right, understood. I got it. Thanks, man. Sigurther, $2. Dev, let Aiden Paladin into the stream. Yeah, okay, I'll do it. Lord Tennyson's pipe, $5. The West threw out its old myth. Like you said, the Enlightenment took care of that. Religion should make a comeback if the West wants to improve. Yeah, the Enlightenment kind of laid bare the old myths, but the issue, like, we didn't have to take on a negative myth in its place, but we did, and that's a problem. We can fix that. We can even fix it without religion, I think, but it's gonna require like massive rethinking of a lot of things that I don't think we're necessarily prepared to do it just yet. At the same time, you know, I think the victory over Russia and Ukraine, as that's slowly unfolding, has honestly like massively strengthened liberal hegemony, right? You got liberal states who are like, dude, like, for like 20, 30 years, we've had this like cucked mentality where it's like, oh, we're the evil white Westerners and we were the imperialists and every culture is equal and we're the oppressors and we're sorry guys and like all this cuck bullshit. But now we're like, there's a little bit more of, hey, hold on. Our society actually has some value and our morals actually do have some worth and we actually can, make a positive difference. And it's not all just equals, but rather we're better. And in fact, we can come together and defend our values and push forward our values like every other group does. And I think Ukraine has shown us that. The liberal countries are way more like united in purpose than they were even 1 year ago. And I think that's probably a positive thing. Barbarians are us. I don't know if slavery could have ended sooner, considering how economically dependent the South was on them. Also, the British were hypocrites, considering they tried to side with the South for that sweet, sweet cotton. Yeah, I know what you mean. The issue ultimately, if we're talking about slavery from an economic point of view, the issue is like there are some products that honestly couldn't have been developed without slavery until we invented like modern machines. Like a lot of cash crops either required slaves or required tractors. That's just how it was. But I guess it is something that I'm glad that we've moved past, because Jesus, it was also terrible. Stug $2, the occasional sip, right? Yep. That's yep. $1, Thomas Fitzpatrick, nothing there, thank you. $5, Artemis Fowl, thank you. Jonathan Haidt is a third-rate philosopher. I don't agree with that. I mean, I know, for example, I've spoken to a lefty recently who's like, Jonathan Haidt is terrible, and I'm like, hold on, he's literally one of the most cited dudes in his field. Like, I don't think so. Artemis Fowl, $2. It's like 2% of my wealth versus 2% of Dev's wealth. Yeah, that was something that I actually thought was interesting. Like, when I was reading Hitler's Beneficiaries, one of the things that they pointed out was like the average Jew had 2% more wealth than the average German. And for middle class Germans, it's no big deal, right? Like, your neighbor probably has 2% more wealth than you or 2% less wealth than you. It's kind of normal. Like, everyone kind of in the middle class, everyone kind of bums around the same means relatively. But like 2% more wealth for the top 1%, that's a lot of wealth. So I kind of the issue with the Nazis was that they killed a bunch of people, all right? Not every single idea they came up with was like purely false and wrong and evil. It's weird to say though, isn't it? Because now I'm going on a Kanye West arc where it's like if you mentioned that, the Nazi government still had public works that brought water into your house, and still had power lines and still had roads and buses. If you say shit like that as things that they did that did work, you get dragged. You get dragged behind a fucking car in the street. You know what I mean? Let's see here. Ethan Rogers, $5. War Games logic. Maybe the only winning move is not to play. Just let him flop in the air until he finally comes down to reality. I mean, maybe you're talking about Kanye there, and I kind of agree, but like with the people behind him and like fucking with him, it's too late for that, Rocky Oil Money, $5. The Unman co-host talking about Lilith there. Jesus Christ, dude, what the fuck? you don't gotta be an asshole in the super chats. You know what? I'm not gonna read your super chat. I'll just take your $5. Thank you. Brett Werdersheim, $5. Aiden, it's called a standalone complex when isolated incidents look connected but aren't. Wait, standalone complex? Isn't that like a fucking video game? No, it's Ghost in the Shell. I didn't know standalone complex was a thing outside of Ghost in the Shell. The term standalone complex can be loosely defined as a social phenomenon where unconnected actions combine to create a group effort, though it isn't maintained by a ringleader or ruling body. Oh, you're talking about spontaneous order. Okay, I know what you mean, yeah. I know what you mean. Artemis Fowl, $20, thank you. Hope Destiny's cease and desist for Keffels is actually real this time. Destiny tried to serve Aiden a fake one with grammatical errors and misspellings. It was kind of cringe. First of all, it is real. I can't reveal how I know, but it's real. Secondly, we would be like, secondly, guys, Destiny's kind of a strange figure. Like back during his Lefty arc, he actually did like some bad things. You know, I think he flagged one of Sargon's channels. You know, he sent off that fake cease and desist to Aiden. You know, there were some shitty moves back then. But I mean, I don't think the Destiny of today is the same Destiny that did that stuff, 6 or 7 or 8 years ago, or whatever it was. He seems to have explored a lot more things philosophically. He's on a virtue ethics arc right now. He's on like an anti-socialist arc. I think Destiny he hasn't moderated his policy prescriptions. Those are still ultimately like, healthcare, welfare, kind of, general center-left policies. But in terms of his outlook on life, in terms of his philosophy, I think he's changed a lot. And I think it's actually been overwhelmingly a good change. Pussy Creature, $2. You're the only live streamer with mid-rolls, Dev. Are you talking about my fat? I got a lot of it. SP Elite, $5. Dev Sticks says he'd have you on stream. DM him on Twitter, you fluffy fellow. Sticks doesn't follow me on Twitter. I can't DM. But also I saw that clip and someone super chatted, "Hey, would you talk to SFO?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'll consider it." And then he immediately moved on. It didn't seem like he was that interested. So that, it's fine though. It's fine. People generally don't know who I am, and when they do, they don't like me. So I'm used to that. Rocky Oil Money, $2. Nick was always a big Kanye fan, baby. Was he? Shit. All right. Didn't know. Tim Welsh, $2. Tim is a sheepdog to facilitate controlled opposition. Okay. I unironically think that the whole controlled opposition meme is like 90% just a meme, guys. I think there's far less controlled opposition in the world than you guys think there is. For sure. Aaron, $5. I'm beginning to think Twitter needs some kind of mental health suspension, like a bit of a touch grass break. Oh, I agree. I fucking agree, dude. Like, that's why Elon banned Kanye, right? Flattercats, 5. What are CHFs? What the fuck is this money now? CHF is heart failure. That's not money. Congestive heart failure. CHF money. Swiss francs. Oh. The currency of Switzerland and Liechtenstein. Okay, then. Okay. Swiss francs. Flattercats for 5 francs. Who would ever fall for a stickied? Please support with super chats. Haha, fools. Thanks, buddy. Like Louise says, it says take a Blake. Oh, not just that, Ivan. Way back on the Super Nintendo, if you were playing Earthbound and you played Earthbound for more than an hour, your dad would call you in the game and ask you to stop playing. That was kind of interesting. Like that was done in like 95 or something. Mama Lulu VT, the foreshadowing is strong. Thanks, Mama Lulu. She's a VTuber who's quite cool. Sir Atlich, $2. Hi, Flam. Greets from the almighty LOL server. That's a message to Flamenco. Lord of the Bronies, $2. Dev's like, sometimes you got to not see, guys. Ha ha ha. Ba-da-bap. Aljani Goldman, two New Zealand dollars. Kanye said nothing wrong. Love everyone. God. Kanye, like, he has like the drops of truth, but his schizoness is just like overpowering it. Lord of the Bronies for $2. Some people have a price. Dev sure does. God, I'm gonna have to fucking confront that at some point, aren't I? I guess like the TLDR of it, I guess, is, you know, I tried to bring it up, but Aiden and I went off on like a tangent. The Milgram experiment was that you had an authority figure who was saying, okay, there's a guy hooked up to an electric shock in the other room, and we need to measure something, so you're going to sit here and press the button to administer the shock. And the authority figure was very professional and well dressed and very well spoken, and was like, okay, press the first button. And so the guy pressed the first button, and it goes zip, and the guy in the other room gets shocked. Then he's like, okay, press the second button, and then it goes all the way up through all the buttons, right? However, like, people went all the way up to like very painful shocks, and then lethal shocks, and then like extremely lethal shocks, and then 3 more buttons that were unlabeled. Okay, just labeled with X's, and they could hear through the wall of the guy screaming as he was being fried, right? And the researcher just said, "Yet you have to press the button. Like the experiment requires that you keep pressing the buttons." And the Milgram experiments basically showed that most people press the buttons up to the point of killing the other person and listening to them die, based solely on the orders of somebody who seemed authoritative and competent and professional. Yeah, it was a test of obedience to authority. And there's lots of, let's say, political realists, like Aiden, for example. Lots of people like her who will say stuff like, you know, this definitely shows, you know, like how can look at what humanity is like. We should be cynical about power, and we should be cynical about, you know, the nature of collectives and of groups and of authority, because look at what people do when given even just the slightest amount of pressure, you know. And it's true. It was like a damning study, you know. It was rough. But at the same time, what realists and what, let's say, the more hardcore libertarians often don't talk about when talking about Milgram is that all of the people who killed, they didn't actually kill anyone, by the way, it was all a setup, but all the people who made the choice to kill their fellow man under the orders of an authority figure, they were sweating and convulsing and laughing nervously and chattering their teeth and shaking and extremely scared. And after they had done it, they came back and talked to Stanley Milgram later and thanked him for what they had done, he had done to them, because they had to face exactly what it was inside them that made them do that. And they all went away saying, now that I know what I'm capable of under duress and where my breaking point is, I won't make that mistake again. They all said that. And I think that's like the hopeful part of the experiment that all the realists kind of forget, is that it's not so much that they failed and they broke, it's what they do afterward. And that's the important part. Everyone says, I could be the Nazi resistor. I could be the one who would rather die than turn in my neighbor, you know, and so they can condemn the 14-year-old George Soros, and they can do so easily from the comfort of their own home. But I think it's more important to be that person and then later to look down upon yourself in shame and say, I'll never do that again. Because then you're definitely not going to do it again. George Soros did it again because he felt no shame. But like most people, they come out of these experiences stronger, and they say, you know what? It wasn't worth it. Maybe I should have actually died. And then they'll be stronger next time, right? And I think even though most people don't make the choice of hiding Jews into the floorboards, I think you can teach that to people. And I think you can teach that to people through exposure, like what Milgram did. You know? And that's why I have a lot more hope for humanity and for the human project than any of the realists do, than any of like the populists or the libertarians or even the fascists, you know. I have a lot more hope for humanity and just a human nature in general, because I think that the more important part of the Milgram story are the people who improved their lives afterward, after seeing where their breaking point was. But no cynic will ever tell you that part of the experiment. They'll only tell you just how terrible humans are, that they will kill other people simply based on the orders of an authority figure. But I think the aftermath of the experiment is the more important story. Let's see. Malcolm McKee, $5. Tick has a bunch of great videos on this topic, including citations of the book Dev mentioned, Hitler's Beneficiaries. Would be neat if you reviewed. Tick's videos are fucking long, man. Like, if I were to sit there and just review like a 5-hour video, I'd be streaming for like 24 hours straight. However, I've read a lot of the books that he has mentioned, right? Like, I've read Hitler's Beneficiaries. I've read The Faces of Janus. I've read, oh fuck, I forget the other ones. They're good books. Coffee's already done. Jesus. The aftermath still doesn't change the fact that they killed someone, Dev. Oh, no, I know. I'm not saying that it wipes it away. I'm not saying that, you know? Part of being repentant is knowing that you will never actually stop being repentant, you know? There's never a point in which you say, okay, I've made up. I've made it up. Everything's fine. No, that point never comes. You spend the rest of your life trying to do good because you did evil. And I think that's commendable when it happens. About the Nazi soldiers who were just following orders, Dev, it's the same thing. Like, they are just as culpable for what they did, but you can also understand why they did it. You know, they didn't want their families to be the next ones purged. They didn't want to find themselves in the ditch. And you can only hope that they tried to pay it back in their post-Nazi life. That's all you can do. You know? Useful Pig, $5. Jordan Peterson said most of us would have been Nazi officers and enjoyed it. Exactly. That is the point, yeah? SFO with a black brew coffee cup. What is your wisdom? The Real Holtzner, $5. If you would betray your people to save your skin, there is no fate too horrible for you. I mean, at the same time, I do agree with that with that sentiment, right? But I think that's why people who are truly repentant spend the rest of their lives trying to make it up, knowing that they can never actually do it, but still doing it. $2. That's from Seninko. We have had the same thing happen the last 2 years. I don't know what that's in reference to. I'm sorry, dude, but thank you. Malcolm McKay, $2. Dev isn't centrist. Academic agent is. Ask Sargon. Yeah. You know, I understand Sargon's sensible centrism thing, but part of that is just a word game, you know, guys. Like, I get the point behind it, but like a lot of it is just like optics and branding. Nonetheless, though, like if you look at Sargon's sensible centrism, there are some good things on that list that I'll agree with. Just not the whole list. Ethan Rogers, $10. What Dev is saying is that what he did was wrong, but it's understandable from a gun-to-your-head perspective. But what makes it inexcusable is that Soros doesn't recognize it as bad. Exactly. All right. Thank you for the $10. Dovakun for 20 kroner. Dev, are you trolling about platforming Hitler? I don't know about that, man. Think about it. If I could summon Hitler's ghost from the grave and have him on for an hour-long podcast, wouldn't you guys watch that shit? That would be awesome. Outraged Deer, $2. Aiden's having a woman moment right now. Imperial Monkey, $5. Aiden, go live in China or Russia. Seriously, where do you find these people, Dev? Jesus. Lord of the Brains, $2. Dev thinks market capitalism is liberalism. Yes. At least part of it. That is the economic component of liberalism. Yes. That is what it is. Imperial Monkey, $2. Ask Aiden about Ukraine. God, if Aiden and I got into a Ukraine debate, it would be like a 6-hour shit show, and I didn't have the fucking time for that, all right? No, because you would invite Lilith. Mech Swordsman, $2. We will show them our peaceful ways by force. Based. You and most people, myself included, just don't have the courage. I might. I don't know. Probably not. But there's like I've had a few moments in my life where I had to face down something that was terrible and important, and I didn't do the right thing. It wasn't like, kill someone or I'll kill you. It wasn't on that level. But I've had a few moments where like I definitely broke under the pressure, and then I felt like terrible shame just privately directed towards myself at that moment. And having felt that a few times, I'm definitely like no, I should stand up for what I believe is right. I'm kind of on that now, and I have been for a while. Who knows? Maybe I wouldn't be able to do it again, but I have a feeling that maybe there's a slim chance that I might be able to do the right thing. Convincing reality, £5. Why spend all your time digging up weeds in someone else's garden instead of tending your own? Good point. But I think in the eras when our garden's doing pretty well, we can in fact help out the neighbors. Stefan Hockenhall, $5. Horrible individuals doing horrible things doesn't invalidate the basic ideas of liberalism compared to other systems that openly endorse oppression. Yes. So this is in the reference to I asked Aiden if Nazi Germany had the same hard power, so military, Air Force, nukes, Navy, and the same soft power, diplomatic connections, economy, culture, the same hard power and soft power as America has right now, would the Nazis do more damage with it, less damage with it, or the same amount of damage with it than America has over the post-war era? And she said the same amount of damage. And I was like, there's no fucking way you believe that, all right? The only reason the Nazis didn't do any more damage is because they hit the limits of their competence. And the same thing with the Soviet Union. They could have done more if they had more ability and more resources, but they did not. If America, like, you guys have, no, not you guys. Aiden does not seem to understand just how bad it could be if America actually was evil, if it actually was the great Satan. Now, there are definitely things you can criticize America for, right? There's lots of things you can criticize America for. They have a lot of atrocities under their belt, but it does not compare. It does not compare to these other great game players. Those atrocities happened despite or in conflict with the morals of our Western society. Those other atrocities happened because of their morals. That is a key difference. Sinenko, $2. Aiden, that would literally make the case for Nazis. I know. I don't think Aiden's a Nazi yet. I think she's just living on the moon, But she's still a nice person. we can disagree on things and still be cordial because I'm not an asshole. True Power Zay, $5. We can't make people liberals, but we can convert them to Christ. You can probably do both, to be honest. You can probably do both. Stefan Hockenhall, $10. Thank you. By that standard, it's not the police's place to stop murder in other houses. By that standard, if you see horrible things done, you shouldn't intervene. Completely agree. I don't mind being an interventionist, even though that comes with its own price tag and also has its own limits. Like Iraq 2003 shows us the limits of interventionism for sure. Neither philosophy is perfect. Lord of the Bronies, $5. Use a different extremist example than slavery, and Dev's position falls apart, and he's abandoned all pretense of them choosing. Pathetic. I don't understand what you're trying to say here. Okay. Use, period, a different extremist example than slavery, and Dev's position falls apart, and he has abandoned all pretense of them choosing. There's no punctuation here. Them choosing pathetic argument. I half understand the super chat. I half understand the super chat. Okay. Soninko, $2. Dev, she is making the case to leave the Nazis alone. I know, and it was not a good case. Beowulf, 19. $10. Thank you. Slaving countries in the 17th century relied on invading and enslaving other people to sell in the international market. Ending the slave trade means preventing them from invading others as well. Yep, agreed. Jamie Armstrong, £2 from Great Britain. Britain. Great Britain. Great Britain. Jesus. British hegemony. A decent compromise for all. Based. Dovakun for 50 kroner. Dev, you can't troll your positions so much. It's getting hard to keep track of what you actually believe. Yeah, sometimes I probably troll too much in these conversations. Trolling's fun, though. Tanushi, €5. It's not a shithole. It's a pit with brown masses in it. Wow. Luke Sanderson, £5. Why would we nuke them when we have overwhelming conventional forces? Freedom is not a choice. It is a law of nature enforced by Chads. I swear I'm serious. All right, dude. Senenko, $2. Nazi Germany sovereignty. Leave them be as per Aiden. Yeah, man. True Powers A, $2. Isolationist policy never works, as history proves. The problem, okay, so there's a lot of like American isolationist on the right now. You know, they saw the failures of neoconservatism, and they're like, nope, we're isolationists. We're not going to go overseas anymore. And fair enough, right? I understand that point of view. But the counter argument is problems overseas don't stay overseas. They do eventually come home. And if like some great empire rises up and controls enough of the world's land and resources and people, even America would fall to that, right? Like, if you get to the point where you control like the world's everything, there's no reason they wouldn't just come and conquer the United States or any other country that is an isolationist country, right? There's no reason it wouldn't happen because they have enough. They have enough stuff to do it now. So the idea of we should only intervene if they attack us, it sounds great on paper, but then imagine facing a united enemy that has conquered all of your allies and has conquered all of the unaligned states, and now they're coming for you. Like, good luck, you know? Good luck. $2, Mr. Personality. Devo, Iron Man, Nazi Germany, liberal hegemony. I don't want to get fucking destroyed, dude. Big Daddy Goblin, $10. Thank you. To add to the nature comparison, is it just for us to interfere in the extinction of an animal, even though it goes against? Is it just for us to interfere in the extinction of an animal, even though it goes against nature? I don't know. You know, if an animal would have naturally gone extinct, should we preserve it? Maybe. You know, I think there is some value in preservation and conservation, even if it would have naturally not gone that way. I think so. Yeah, I think so. Santa, in all seriousness, do you favor imperialism? World Police was a satire of how America interferes all over the world and how it was bad. Should America be world police? Here's the thing. With our current level of tech, if America is not the world police, China will be. And so the question is not, should America be world police? It is, do you want America or China to be world police? The answer is obvious, should be America. America being the world police is bad, but it is the least bad of the options. Real Holtzner, $5. I love this conversation. Thanks, man. Also, as for freedom of association, that doesn't exist anymore. See Bake the Cake. Didn't the Bake the Cake people win their court case, though? Hold on. Yeah, because the whole Bake the Cake thing was based on making a custom work of art, which was protected under the First Amendment. The Supreme Court, this is from 2018, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of a Colorado baker who refused to bake a cake to celebrate the marriage of a same-sex couple. Yeah, dude, the free speech argument won for the bake the cake argument. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Dovakun for 50 kroner. I don't agree with you on everything, Aiden, but sticking to your morals is based. Good on you. Yeah, you know, fair enough, right? Like, Aiden didn't just like crumple under pressure, and neither did I. So, and I can definitely appreciate that for sure. Rosa for $5. Thanks, Rosa. You could always do a super chat stream. You could always do a super chat reading stream later. What do you think I'm doing? Let's refresh. There's new super chats now. Thank you for all the new super chats, guys. You guys are the best. Stug, $2. The occasional sip. That's right. Willison, $10. Thanks, man. I see lots of people who are gay and bi who all have evidence of physical and sexual abuse as a child. It's a cycle of abuse only for sex. I love to exposit more, but it's only so much space here. Well, I'm bi, and I didn't get physically abused as a child. But at the same time, all of the males that I'm into are like feminine, right? So we're talking femboys, we're talking trans women, feminine males. I don't really find masculine males attractive. So I don't know. Maybe there's like different. I don't know. I mean, I have seen the stats myself that like people who are gay do like there is at least some correlation between not correlation isn't causation. Okay, there's some correlation between being gay and being sexually abused. There's some numbers on that. I don't think that's the case for every single gay person though. I think it's a more complicated issue than just that. That Rift person, $5. Hold on. You say that, Deb, but did you not have an experience with someone who was an adult while you were underage? No, I didn't. I mean, no, I didn't. That didn't happen to me. All right. I had sex when I was 14 years old with another 14-year-old. There was no over/under adult. No, dude, that's wrong. That Rift person, $5. Random question. Have you ever made or considered making a video about diagnosed autism and how it exists in society? I don't know if I'm knowledgeable enough to do that, man. I don't know. But thank you for the $5. 10 pounds from Harry the Human Substitute. Yeah, come on. The 14 is still underage, yeah, but my partner was also underage. There was no me having sex with an adult. No. Okay. Harry the Human Substitute, 10 pounds. To continue the mandate of heaven, create the British Empire 2.0. Bleach and enslave all of the races, including races across the stars. Those women belong to humanity now. Based. Have sex with all the alien GFs. Artemis Fowl, $2. Dev is a communist adjacent Leaf Stanny. Yes. It's still gross. Hold on. Tiger Eye. There's no fucking way you believe that. There's no fucking way you think that two people in like grade 8 or grade 9, grade 10, some kind of high school grade, you think that them having sex is gross with each other. It's like, oh shit, dude, you got laid in high school? That's gross. Like, what the fuck? Who the fuck thinks that? All right, dude. All right. Kiernoth, $2. Do you think the 6 million number is accurate? Yeah, probably. I think 6 million is probably accurate, yeah. Real Holtznader, $5. Aiden was dead wrong with the lack of difference between Nazi Germany and the USA. If Nazis took over, they would kill most of the world. Oh, completely agree. It is the, like, I know a lot of libertarian rightist types, whether they be libertarian capitalists or libertarian fascists, they tend to believe they're extremely anti-ideology, and sometimes being anti-ideology is good, but they are anti-ideology to the point that they don't even consider ideology in the actions of states. So every state is just a state. Every great empire is just a great empire. Their underlying ideology does not actually exist. It only serves to post hoc rationalize their power game. And so there, from that lens, there is no moral difference between Nazi Germany and the USA. But that lens is clearly wrong. It's clearly wrong. Real Holtzner, $5. As someone who has been held at gunpoint, it really depends on whether you value your life or not. Yeah, right. So for example, I think it's very normal if someone holds you at gunpoint and says, "I will kill your wife," to not value your life and try to stop them. Right? Very normal thing to do. I think most people would do that. But so if someone holds you at gunpoint and says, "Listen, go do something terrible to that guy, or then I will kill you and then kill everyone you care about. You know, the threat is different, and it's different enough that lots of people will actually give in. It really depends on what's happening. It really depends what's happening. Hold on. Tell Lilith to get off her Americanism, imperialism shit. She thinks we should invade Muslim countries to free the gays. That leads to ISIS and Taliban, and it leads to America losing wars. Well, you know what? You got to double down on that shit, right? Listen. Here's how it is. We should not make deals with evil, all right? We are the light of civilization, Dragonfat. And we should fight the barbarians, and we should promote our values. Let the light win. And if trouble comes of it in response, then let the light win again. And we'll just keep winning. Keep fucking winning, guys. That's how it is. Hold on. Dragonfat. Dragonfat is in timeout. And just to piss everyone off, the only reason Dragonfat is in timeout is for referring to Lilith as he. Okay, let's continue. Let's see here. Where were we? Godlike Snake, $5. Check out the good old days, the Holocaust, as seen by its perpetrators and bystanders. The title is self-explanatory on what it's about. All right, we'll take a look at it. Thank you. Okay, Elon Musk. He is a he. Hey, guess what's happening to you, buddy? Pronouns can't change your chromosomes. Of course not. Oh, there's more. Oh, we're gonna keep doing it. I'm just having fun now. I mean, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but these aren't real bands. They're temp bands that they'll like come out. Yep. Yes, you're all getting fucked. Don't worry, it'll be okay. Here's the thing: I'm not actually like perma-banning anyone. The bans will wear off. Okay, here. Let me actually put it this way. Okay, yeah, Lilith is a biological male. All right. Even if you want to make the argument that Lilith is a man, you can make that argument, right? But to me, it's like, assume worst case scenario, worst possible interpretation. Lilith is a gay-leaning man who does also like women, and who is extremely feminized. That's fine. Who fucking cares, man? Like, I don't care, you know? I know, like, a lot, like, it's really funny, like, the more feminine trans women, they're usually like, listen, I know I'm a man. I know. You can't change chromosomes. You can't change genitals unless you want to mutilate yourself. Like, I get it. You know, I got fake tits. I get it. I understand. I'm on HRT. I get it. I get it. Just leave me alone. And most sensible trans women are just like, just leave me alone. Don't worry about it, man. Like, okay. I'm a man. Fine. Just leave me alone. Let me be a girly looking guy. Leave me alone. That's a completely reasonable ask. You know what I mean? That is completely reasonable. That's a completely reasonable ask, in my opinion. I misgender Spooky as a troll. That's a troll, dude. But yeah, honestly, here's the thing. Like, I would say that Lilith isn't a woman. Lilith is a trans woman. Those are fundamentally different things, and that's okay. That doesn't mean that I hate anyone. It doesn't mean, like, here. Let me put it this way. It's kind of like, you know, when a trans activist comes to you and says, okay, you need to believe that I'm a woman. It's kind of, or else you're a bigot. It's kind of the same way as if like a Christian or a Muslim comes up to you and says, okay, you need to believe in my religion or else you're a bigot. And it's like, no, I don't. No, I don't. Because what you're asking of me is not just to accept my identity or just to be polite to me in a social situation. Don't be rude, just, or to just not just to leave me alone to my privacy. What you're asking of me is for me to view the world the exact same way you do, for me to accept your truths, which is unacceptable, right? So you can believe trans women are men and still be polite to them and still not be a bigot. You just don't like assault them in the street. Don't like make weird remarks towards them. Don't be an asshole. Don't point and laugh at them when you see one who doesn't pass, just walking down the road, right? Like, that's all that is required. You don't need to believe in your heart of hearts that they truly are women. You just need to not be a dick. That's it. That is what reasonable trans activism asks of you. Don't be a dick. And I think it's completely fine. Completely fine. Do we have to have this conversation every stream? Yes, we do, because my audience is retarded. Understand? Lilith passes so hard I get uncomfortable and hard, right? You can say, for example, like here, you can say this, patter of heads, that you don't believe that Lilith is a woman, but you do want her to be your girlfriend. Of course I'm chasing them, Vicar. Listen, I have absolutely no problem with objectifying trans women. I do it to cis women all the time, too. Yeah, let's continue with the super chats. There's so many, guys. Thank you very much. Give more. I appreciate it. Generic, $5. I would like to believe there is hope for humanity. With the current state of the world and how quickly others will slow each other out, I doubt it. I think we're going to be fine. Wait, I struggle with rationalizing my position? What do you mean? I just rationalized it. It was fine. It was a completely reasonable position. Read Laverty, $5. You should read Mussolini, A New Life, to me. It's a very interesting explanation for his and the fascist rise. He explains a lot. He explains it instead of crying fascist. I mean, I could read it, yeah, but like I've read a lot of books that kind of explain Mussolini's rise already. But I can look into it, sure. Sure. Well, here's the thing, Sigarther. Using the correct pronouns is considered an insult. You shouldn't be banned from society for it, but it is an insult, and you should understand that you are insulting them when you do it. Of course, right? Like if you're a man, like here, think back to the playground, right? And you're a boy, and then someone who's bullying you or someone you have a feud with, some other kid, he calls you a girl, right? He calls you a girl as a way of disparaging you, right? You will naturally take that as an insult because you're not a girl, but also because you don't view yourself as a girl. That's an important part too, right? You don't view yourself as a girl. You wouldn't insult Lilith by calling Lilith a girl in the same way that like you would insult a cis guy by calling them a girl. You know what I mean? What you're doing is you're specifically saying, I know what you view yourself as, and I'm going to deny you that. That is an insult. Now, you have the right to insult people. Go ahead. But you shouldn't be surprised when your target takes it as an insult, because it is. That's the issue, right? That's what's going on here. But they are that. Okay, fine. But it's an insult. All right? That's the issue, is that it is an insult, and you have to basically say, you have to be at peace with the fact that you're insulting someone from their point of view, and they're not going to like you. If you're at peace with that, then you're at peace with that. The problem is, Dev, non-passing troons are telling us to call them something my eyes are telling they're not. Well, then you have a choice to make, right? Like, is this a person that you care about having a relationship with? I don't mean sexual, I mean like professional. Do you work with them? Do you want to keep your job? I mean, should you be... Here's the thing. Should you be fired because you see a man in a dress and you accidentally say he because your intuition says man in a dress? Probably not. But if you're saying it over and over and over and over and over, purposefully, and actively disrupting your workplace, should you be fired then? I mean, probably, but at that point, you're not getting fired for misgendering. You're getting fired for disrupting the workplace. Jesus, disrupting the workplace. That's what you're getting fired for. So the issue ultimately is, like, how much are you willing to rock the boat? If it's just someone that you're meeting in passing and don't care about, that's the same thing as just being an asshole to a random passerby. Now, you have the right to do that, but should you do that? Probably not. I like Lilith. But does her voice sound like a mix between a deflating balloon and the water pack from Super Mario Sunshine to anyone else? Yeah, kinda. She has like a squeaky voice for sure. Sounds like compelled speech, dude? No, man. No. Like, okay, when you're at a job, there are certain things you can't say at the job, right? Here, you got a job to go work at a grocery store. Your job is to go put boxes on the shelves, all right? Go put boxes on the shelves. Are you going to spend half your fucking shift marching around with a sign promoting some kind of political ideology? No. It's like your boss tells you, stop talking about that shit. Get back to work. Oh, it's compelled speech. I can't talk about what I want to talk about. Dude, when you sign a contract, enter into an employment agreement, you are voluntarily giving up certain things. You're there to do the work. You're not there to push an ideology, right? Is it rude to call all trans they and them? No. It's also not rude to call all cis people they and them, Same thing. My job doesn't tell me to entertain someone's delusions. Your job tells you to be polite. Simple as that. Nope, this isn't compelled speech. No. I will cover stories later. Yes. Yeah. But nope, this is not a compelled speech situation, I'd rather get a job where I have very little social interaction. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Yeah. It's about tweeting outside the context of work. I disagree with that. Okay, Mr. Jobocan, you have hit the limits. Yes, I agree with you there, right? So, for example, let's say you have a trans coworker, okay? And while you're on the clock, on the job, you treat them with the same respect you treat everyone else with on the job. And then, after work, you go home and go on your Twitter account and then tweet something about, like, trans ideology that you don't like. You shouldn't be fired for that. That is ridiculous, yes. Because now you're off the clock. You're not talking about your coworker. You're just talking in general on your own time. You shouldn't be fired for that, obviously, right? Obviously. We're talking about being forced to use specific language even if the person in question does not agree. And you know what? That is the norm at a lot of jobs, even far beyond the trans question. All right? You might be forced to not call your black coworker a slur while you're on the job, and you should be forced by your job to do that. Because there is some standard of decency when you're on a workplace and you have some sort of social responsibility to the other people around you whom you're working with. And in fact, you're like, listen, I will not perform any work unless I'm allowed to call this person a he or any other type of thing you might want to call them. It's like, get the fuck out then. Like, fuck you. Their gender's got nothing to do with this job. What the fuck are you doing? Lilith is a pyro from TF2. Calling a man isn't the same as calling someone a slur. Well, if you think that they are that slur, then it's the same thing as call X an X, right? Yeah. You're probably saying something ridiculous in your super chat, Sennico. This is not strawmans. You guys, it is not a false equivalence. Nope. Exactly. Fanka KM gets it. You often have to be nice to customers even when they're rude. Welcome to part of your job. That is in the job description. All right? Here, listen, guys, listen. You get to a job, right? And you're looking through the contract, and the contract says you will be polite to your customers, to your coworkers while on the job. You won't disparage them. And then you're like, okay. And you sign the contract. You start your job. and then you start saying things that you know that they will take as impolite, what do you think's going to happen? Of course you'll get fired. You're in violation of contract. You guys are coping. You guys are coping and you're wrong. All right? You're wrong. Like WRONG, wrong. Never gonna win, Dev? Just stop. No, I've already won. I've already won. Oh yeah, like here's the thing. Good Emperor, that's the correct answer. Good Emperor is given the correct answer. Like work in a job where you don't have to deal with that sort of shit. Go ahead, right? Probably the word bigot in that, Sinenko. Yeah. So they can choose to take anything as impolite at any time, and my job is forfeit. It's usually what's the fucking phrase? It's usually mediated by HR or by like if the company's not big enough, then by like your boss and like, listen, what the fuck's the problem here? Like people don't usually just fire you instantly, right? They'll bring you into the office and be like, okay, what's the issue? What are you guys fighting over? And then one person's like, I'm trans. This guy's calling me a dude. And then the boss looks at you and is like, are you actually calling her a dude? And you're like, yes. Then you're gonna get fired, right? Like, however, if she goes in and is like, listen, I don't like lasagna, and this guy's eating lasagna in the break room. He's like, well, you're allergic to lasagna? No, I just don't like it. It's like, well, you're not getting fired over that, right? Like, there is reasonableness here, guys. I don't know if you guys are just like inherently unreasonable and you think everyone else is, but there is like a reasonableness level here, okay? Every sip, Dev is correct. You just need to see it Dev's way, Giga Chad. Here. No, T-Bra, okay, don't just fucking spam it, dude. T-Bra, I agree. You don't have to be polite. And in my opinion, you shouldn't have to be polite here either. But you must understand that being impolite does come with social consequences. If you are rude to your girlfriend, she will dump you. If you are rude to your friends, they will stop being your friend. If you are rude to your family, they might cut you off, right? It really fucking depends, guy. Like I should be able to say whatever I want and nothing should ever come back at me. It's like how dumb, how fucking brainless do you have to be? Oh my god. Okay, you guys are nuts. You guys are fucked. All right, you guys have like hollow brains or something. If you don't get what I'm saying, yeah. Just be civil for civility's sake. Yes, even if ideally, here's the thing. Personally. Even if I was working with someone who was clearly a man in a dress, did not pass whatsoever. This person says, "Yeah, I'm trans. I consider myself to be a woman. I'm trying to transition right now. I'm trans." And I was working with them in a professional capacity, and my only relationship with them is work only. I would keep the peace. I wouldn't be an asshole. This is probably a person I wouldn't associate with off the job, right? However, I would not be a dick because I'm not a dick. No, you shouldn't be civil for civility's sake. Jesus Christ. No, that's just wrong. I would refuse to work with them. Okay, well then you probably get fired because you're the one who. Because like, are they refusing to work with you? No. Then it would be correct to fire you over her for sure. Of course it would. And if you're rude to Lilith, Dev would time you out. Okay, here. Dev's trans voice is deeper than his own. Okay. I'm going to get back to the super chats. Just know, chat, you're wrong. Okay. Kiernoth, here's one of your old super chats. $5. What the other guy said was that the COOF proves the Milgram experiment right. It pretty much proved that there are a lot of people who would bend to authority. Yes. We have to understand that, which is why I find it like so virtue signally. People are like, oh my god, I can't believe George Soros would. I would never do that. It's like, yes, you would. Yes, you fucking would. C. Thomas, $2. Penis. Thanks for the super chat. Stug, $2. BAH, based American hegemony. Based, dude. Thanks, man. Investigator Wimquin, $20. $20, thank you, dude. I don't like Aiden, but she truly is a fascist at heart. But instead of grappling with it and coming to grips with it, she instead denies and suppresses her intuition, leading her to her dumb libertarian monarchy ideas. If Aiden is a fascist at heart, I don't know if she is, but if she is a post-fascist, as I described in my 3 forms of fascism video, which is probably why she took that video, the end of that video, so poorly. Generic, $5. Example of others selling out. Free speech, gun rights, and protest rights. See how quickly the anti-convoy called for live fire and military intervention. Yep. Absolutely, absolutely. It's so strange. I'm going to do a video on this because it's so strange now. The West is like wagging its finger at China for being draconian with its lockdowns. And I'm like, what the fuck? Where have you guys been the past 2 years, you fucking retards? Real Holtznader, $5. If we had freedom of association and freedom of speech, the bakers would not have been forced to make the cake. They didn't make the cake. Flex Mentalo, $20 with no message. Thank you for the 20, dude. I appreciate it. Stug, $2. Having sex is pretty gross. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. True gigachads don't ever entertain women whatsoever. Artemis Fowl, $5. I think it's gross because I don't want to think about 9th graders having sex, Dev. Okay. Here. Yes or no? Chat, spam, yes or no. I don't want to start a poll. Just spam yes or no, okay? If I remember the times when I had sex when I was underage, and as an underage person, I was having sex with another underage person, and I remember those times, I can still like remember what they looked like. Does that make me a pedophile because even though I'm above age now, I was underage then? Because like I can go back and think, I can think about those encounters and still find them appealing. But if I go back and look at pictures of those people, where I'm actually seeing them not through my mind's eye, but I see a picture, they look like way too young, right? So yes, no, yes, no, yes, yes, no. Lots of yeses and nos in here. It's very like it's split, man. It's split. Dev the time traveling nuts. We're having fun here. We're having fun here, guys. We're having fun here, okay? This is such a... I was 14, yeah. 14, 15, 16. Okay. Luke Sanderson, £2. Be gay, do crime. Be straight, do war crimes. Oh, wow. Jesus. Investigator Wimquin, $10. Thank you. Aiden only has her moral conviction because it's easy to say you wouldn't do when you don't have the socially and legal pressure telling to do stuff that go against your moral beliefs. Pretty much I agree with that too, yeah. Holzner, $5. We failed in the Middle East because we didn't America hard enough. We should have gone in and broken them. Giga Chad. Imperial Monkey, $2. I want to glass the juice. Jesus Christ. Artemis Fowl, $20. Thank you very much, man. In regards to pronouns, nobody cares about anyone that they pass in the street. Nobody cares about their background. We ignore them. It is just that some people demand we treat them better than everyone else that we come across. I disagree with that completely. Yeah, right? Like, treat trans people the way that you would treat anyone else that you encounter, with the basic civility that is appropriate for the situation, right? Whether they're a stranger to you, just walking by, you have a casual encounter with them at the bus stop or at the supermarket, versus whether you have to engage with them professionally at work, versus whether they're your friends, versus whether they are your romantic partners. Those are all different levels of civility, and just choose the appropriate one. Don't be an asshole, and you will not have any problems. Everyone's like, I gotta call them a man. I gotta do it. It's like, you're just a retard. All right. Artemis Fowl, $5. I want to point out that you cannot say a slur, but a lot of trans people will force you to say a pronoun and get mad because it isn't theirs. Yes and no, depends what we're talking about, right? Because a lot of trans people do view the wrong pronoun as a slur. And that's kind of the meat of the issue, right? 30 more shekels from Ian. Thank you, dude. The idea you talked about yesterday of the Holocaust as an important part of the modern West founding myth is new to me. Can you explain what it means? Okay, so the view of America and Americans that they have of themselves is that they were the heroes that stopped the Nazis from perpetrating the Holocaust. All right. And that is the modern American founding myth. It's like, what is America? We fight Nazis. You know, we stop the Holocaust. That is the good that America does in the world. The issue is that that founding myth requires the Nazis to exist to even make sense. And when the Nazis don't exist and the Holocaust is a thing of the past, then America kind of has an empty founding myth. That's the problem, is that there is no founding myth that is positive, but rather it's a founding myth that is only a reaction to the negative. And that's the problem with America right now. Artemis Fowl, $5. Trans people got workers fired because a person refused to use pronouns to refer to them and only used their name instead. You see, that is objectionable. I disagree with that, absolutely. Like, if they're not explicitly being like, yeah, you're a him. If they're not doing that and they're just referring to their name, yeah, I don't agree with that at all, Artemis Fowl. Like, I'm on your side on that one. That's too far. Let's see here. Willowzen, $5. Thanks, man. I have a coworker who uses Aspie as a shield. Whenever we get a trans, we let him handle it and watch the fireworks. Oh God, holy fuck, that's probably like a shit show, isn't it? Imperial Monkey, Dev is literally missing the difference between compelled speech and refraining from speaking. It's literally the 2016 JP debate. He's lost the pot. No, I'm not, man. No, I'm not. All right, listen. All right, it is different because in a work environment, you have a different responsibility to those around you than just random fucking trans people. And that's the difference. No, you should not be legally forced to properly gender a random fucking trans person on Twitter or some shit, right? Here's the thing. There is a lot of, let's say, positive, compelled speech when you are working for a company. And that's just the nature of employment. You cannot go and shit talk your company while working for it. You cannot go and mistreat your bosses or your customers or your coworkers while you're on the job. You can't do that. It's part of the job. All right? You are being compelled to not call your boss an asshole to their face. Yes, your speech is being compelled. It sucks. Welcome to employment. Welcome to being a fucking wage slave. All right? Welcome to the wagey life, buddy. That is normal. And carving out this special exception where you shouldn't have to follow the rules for trans people is ridiculous. It is part of the same tapestry. Artemis Fowl, $2. Now do the gay club shooters pronouns? They're clearly not. They're clearly not non-binary. Non-binary is probably even more rare than actual trans is, I think. And also, guess what? I don't work with the gay club shooters pronouns. I don't gotta respect that nonsense. He's not my coworker. He's not my friend. I don't give a fuck. Lord of the Bronies, $5. I've found I love Disney villain music because it's basically rap music. Consider Rasputin singing about how evil he is versus MM being a tard. Thoughts? I haven't seen a Disney movie in 25 years, so I can't give you any thoughts. I'm sorry, man. But thank you for the $5. It does sound interesting, though. We'll get to the news after. Don't worry. Fulcrum, $5. Do you think that there's a social contagion for trans women, not just girls IDing as trans men? Probably. Like, clearly Chris Chan has been social contagioned, right? Obviously. So yeah, definitely some of them. Harry the Human Substitute, £2. Types yes without listening. Giga Chad. Patrick Sloan, $5. We're having fun, chat. Chat is on fire. Afternoon and howdy. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, dude. Appreciate it. Alex Hoffman, $5. I just think people should get more responsibility younger and have a stake in the system. If we did, there would be less issues. Maybe that's the solution, yeah. Refraining from speaking isn't compelled speech. You did it again. No, I didn't. Oh my fucking Lord. That's ridiculous, dude. That's dumb. Okay, here. Imperial Monkey. I will give you a more direct example. Fine. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. The customer is being an asshole to you. And you are compelled to speak nicely to them. And say, I understand, ma'am. I assumed it was a Karen, obviously. I understand, ma'am. I understand you're feeling upset. But there's only so much I can do. Have a good day, ma'am. Compelled speech. It is not the thing that you want to say. You are forced by the circumstances of your job to say that. Welcome to working. It's normal. Okay. $10 Artemis Fowl. The final super chat, and then I'll get a new drink and we'll actually get to the news. On the pronoun topics, you are making descriptive claims while the chat is using prescriptive. You are saying what it is when the chat is saying it shouldn't be that way. No, here's the thing. I think it should be that way, Artemis. I think it should be that way. It should be the fact that you must treat people while coworkers with them at a job. You can't just be like assholes to them, and then you should lose your job if you are. It should be that way. Yes. Viking Kiwi, thanks for becoming a member of the $5 club. I feel like I'm just done with some of this stuff. Like, can we just be reasonable and calm? Both sides, okay? Can we just go back to normal? I'm tired. I completely agree with you, Viking Kiwi, but my chat is full of like retard, autistic, fucking subhuman, sub IQ, like sub race spurgos who are clearly just a bunch of fucking inbreds who have been constantly inbreeding in like an isolated valley somewhere in fucking Siberia. And they're finally like getting contacted and getting hooked up to the internet so they can go online and just be like pure fucking 50 IQ morons. And I can't stand it, but I still love you guys. Order the bronies, $10, thanks. Let's test your consistency. If someone comes into work dressed as a blue tick hound dog, should civility be maintained? What limits of insanity is civil for work environments before it's addressed? So, most work environments have a dress code. And if the blue tick hound dog costume violates the dress code, then you send them home for violating the dress code. However, if you can literally wear whatever you want at work, and whatever you want at work, if you're wearing this costume and it does nothing to your actual performance at the job, then no, you just leave them alone. Just leave them alone. Dev is a POS to his own chat. Giga chat. The second you lose your cool is the second it shows how fragile this whole thing really is. Okay, hold on. Those of you who watch Game Boomers or watch my gaming content, those of you who watch it, just answer in the chat. Do you think I was being like serious, or I was just like, was that like playing it up for a joke? You've seen me call Dave this shit and everyone else all this all the time. Like, what do you think? I wasn't actually being serious. Okay. Of course the dress code solves. Yes. Like, that's the point of the contract. Fuck. Dress codes are compelled speech. Okay. Let me grab another water real quick. Wait, do I have some over here? I do have some more water over here. Okay. I see you abuse your employees and Game Boomers all the time. You guys are the best, you know that? Best chat. We've done super chats for an hour and a half. Holy fuck. Thank you very much, guys. The most generous chat. Your tone doesn't really change. Oh, really? I thought I'd make it different for sure. All right. Artemis Powell, $10. If you believe it must be that way, Dev, how do you deal with gender fluid and other people who change their pronouns on the fly? Also, what people who refer to themselves as animal pronouns. Okay, so there is also a limit to there's a limit of reasonability here, right? When you also have to give the other side the benefit of the doubt as well, where it's like my pronouns just change inside my head, so now I'm a he, they instead of a she, her, and you're like, well, I'm not in your head. I don't fucking know. I'm bringing you to HR. Like, there's obviously a limit on reasonability here, right? Obviously. Like, you have to inform someone of the rules before you can expect them to play along. Deb does not have a principled argument. What are you fucking talking about? This is my principled argument. Like, the principled argument is be polite. Chill the fuck out. There's reasonability is an argument. Oh my God. Listen, every single person who just said reasonability isn't an argument. If you genuinely believe that, then you have to be like anti-law. All right? Because all law, all legal statutes are ultimately arbitrary. And if you look at any of them, they always say this restrictions on this is per a reasonable person's view of the situation or what a reasonable person would think about what this is. Like, the word reasonable is used everywhere in law. Now, if you are, let's say, as I talked about an hour ago, a political realist, and you simply believed everything was just power politics and power games, and people were just playing, they were just playing poker with each other, then you would obviously believe that the phrase reasonable simply refers to what those in power want it to mean, and they will use it as a stick to bludgeon you, and that you should use it as a stick to bludgeon them. That is the copium doom-pilled view of politics. However, there is actually like, what would your average person think about this? If your average person was being like rational, like what would they? Oh, they would see this and be like, okay, well, obviously that like for a noise statute, okay, that's too loud, that's too quiet. Most reasonable people think that, okay, there it is, you know. The edges between boundaries are always fuzzy, but that does not mean that the edge doesn't exist, and that does not mean that it's all simply just power and politics. That is the most fucking doom-pilled, retarded way to view all this. And people who say, "Who decides what is reasonable?" They have one little drop of a point, in that it can be used in a bad way, but for the most part, they are just fucking coping. All right. Exactly, Finn. I think it's just basic respect with pronouns honestly. If there's a transgender person who's respectful and normal, you should just use what they want. I don't see why you shouldn't. Exactly. Average person doesn't accept men in dresses. True, true. But your average person does accept. Your average person does accept someone who passes. Literally all laws are arbitrary. Oh, God. Yes, it is arbitrary that the noise statute for your town has the too noisy limit set to 60 decibels instead of 65. That is arbitrary. At the same time, we still recognize that such a thing does serve a purpose, and so we have it. The fact that it is arbitrary does not mean that it is not correct. Stop taking the leftoid position of, it's all socially constructed. Doesn't work for them, doesn't work for you. All right. Shall we continue? Hold on. Where is Dragonfed? Hold on. I wanna. I'm just bugging Dragonfed now. Laws are literally a social construct. Oh, God. Yes. Saying something is a social construct does not mean that it's also false. Things can be social construct and also real and true and good. So Jordan Peterson saying, who defines hate speech is a weak argument against hate speech laws? It can be. Sometimes it's a good argument. It depends on who actually is defining the hate speech, right? Like, there definitely have been instances in which people have used hate speech laws one-sidedly to bludgeon their opposition. That happens, and it's not good. So it's not like there's nothing to that argument, but it has to be understood that that doesn't happen all the time, and you can't simply use that as a one-size-fits-all solution for that conversation. All right. Okay. Thanks for the supers. I'll come back to the rest of them later because we've been going on for like an hour and a half and you guys are getting rowdy and retarded. So you guys want to go do the news finally? It's time for news. Pronouns are always compelled speech, not politeness. Politeness is how you interact with the person next. Pronouns are. Here's the thing, dude. Mato Shinshi. Pronouns aren't compelled speech for me because I will willingly use the preferred pronouns with some exceptions. There's limits though on that, right? But like, I'll call Lilith a she when she's not around. No problem with me. Okay. Where is? Here it is. Okay. And here it is. It's time. Let's get right into the news. What? I'm sniffling. I got like a slightly plugged nose. Dev, you are not being reasonable. Fuck you, Galaxy. Oh God, simply. You know what? I'm not. You know what? I'm not going to look at the chat anymore. The chat's being retarded, like pure fucking copium level retarded. I'm not gonna. I'm not. We're starting the news. Let's go. So, I don't know if you guys saw this real quick. When you start advocating for the termination of the Constitution, you lose me. Here's a post from Trump, from Truth Social. Okay. So, with the revelation of massive and widespread fraud and deception, and working closely with big tech companies, the DNC, Democratic Party, do you know the presidential election results of 20? Do you throw the presidential election results of 2020 out and declare the rightful winner, or do you have a new election? A massive fraud of this type and magnitude allows for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution. Our great founders did not want and would not condone false and fraudulent elections. Yeah. When you start advocating the termination of the Constitution, you lose me. Ooh. Guys. Dev is tired of us peasants. Lasombra, I am the aristocracy. Come on. How could you possibly be pro-Trump at this point when he's like, terminate the Constitution? This should be the nail in the coffin for every like constitutionalist who's supporting Trump. Like, what the fuck, dude? Oh boy. He literally says termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution. Termination of those found in the Constitution. What? This is pretty fucked, right, guys? This is pretty fucked. Like, it's indefensible. How the fuck is anyone still defending this? All right. Trump drank. Read closer. Fucking hold on. No, fucking. Okay. How close? How close you want to get? Like, what am I missing? A massive fraud of this type and magnitude allows for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution. Even assuming that there was a massive fraud, there wasn't. That's copium. Even assuming that there was, where is it written that this massive fraud allows for the termination of the Constitution? Where is it written? Where? Go back to his face. Go find the actual message. Wait, do you think this is made up? Do you think this is made up? I'm on Truth Social now, guys. I started that at the start of the video. Like, here's the real thing. A massive fraud of this type and magnitude allows for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution. Our great founders did not and would not condone false and fraudulent elections. The founders set the government up such that basically the time between November 7th, whatever it was, and the actual ratification of the slated electorates or whatever it was in December, that time period is used to deal with any sort of challengers. You know, that's a month and change to like look at what's going on. And the founders outright did set it up such that once those slated electors have cast their votes, it's done. If it comes out years later that, oh shit, it was all something was fucked up, it was faked, someone fucked with the vote tally, the slated electors are what matters. That was their failsafe against this. So now the criticism of that is that, does that mean that you can rig an election as long as you make it to the finish line, you win? Yeah, that's actually what it means legally, which is bad. There's some problems with that for sure. But nonetheless, that if we're talking about what the founders intended, it is what the founders intended. But anyway, no. It doesn't sound like he's advocating for termination of the Constitution. The fact that he would put it on the table at all is kind of ridiculous, in my opinion. That is definitely too far, like fully too far for me. I'm like definitely like anti-Trump at this point. Like, this is ridiculous. Oh yeah, Metamato, exactly, right? Like, Trump's a loser. Trump is just a fucking loser at this point. Rather than like taking his licks, coming back stronger, overcoming the odds in 2024, the Rocky Balboa story, only it's Trumpy Balboa. Rather than doing that, he's whined about his loss for 2 fucking years. And he just looks weak. He's just weak. Anyway, Trump's ridiculous at this point. Where is... Okay. Oh yeah, check this out. All right. I found this Twitter account called Mugshotties. And it's literally just hot women who have committed crimes. Guys, would you simp? Would you simp for the Mugshotties? Arrested for public intoxication after getting into a... I'm going to follow this. After getting into a bar fight. This is our headliner, by the way, on the thumbnail. Arson. Jeez. Arson. San Antonio woman stabs boyfriend for not helping with the bills. Do you think you can fix her, guys? Driving while impaired. Jesus. DUI causing property damage. Well, the tattoos kind of give this one away, eh? Homicide. Holy fuck. Why? All right. Possession of stolen goods and trafficking of stolen goods. Yes, Queen. Assault causing bodily injury. She's Latina, though. They always beat their husbands. Thank you for 400,000, you degenerates. Arrested on a warrant for assault. Jesus Christ. This is like prostitution level of tattoos. Fraud and theft for over $5,000. This is a Canadian doctor who charged over $800,000 more than she should have for medical procedures. Jesus, white collar crime even doesn't pay. Well, I guess it kind of does pay if she keeps the $800,000. Harassment, assault causing bodily injury or mental illness. Wait, she kind of looks like a Titan from Attack on Titan, like with the mouth. Just gonna like eat you. Teacher's aide arrested for having sexual relations with a 16-year-old student. Jesus Christ, dude. Why? Possession of cannabis. This is like a very normal kind of thing, right? Just smoking some weed, get arrested. That kind of sucks. Target employee arrested for stealing $800 in electronics. Fuck. DUI property damage. Mugshotties, guys. Mugshotties. Possession of a controlled dangerous substance. Fuck. She seems kind of sad. Yeah, man, like a lot of these chicks would be like they're not necessarily like hyper good 10 out of 10 looking, but they're like they would be like the better looking chicks at your school before you moved away, you know? And you think back like what happened to her? But then you go see like a modern picture of her and she actually isn't that good looking. You know what I mean? Hold on a second. Someone in the chat said like laughing about smiling in your mugshot. There was there was a porn picture that I found that was hilarious. It was one girl fisting another girl. Like she had like her whole fist inside the girl's vagina, right? And she was like going at it. And they're doing a porn shoot. And so the girl looks at the camera and smiles like she's taking like a school photo, but she has like her arm in this chick's vag. It's the fucking funniest picture. Holy shit. Anyway, this is a really funny account. Jesus Christ. Burglary, failure to appear, domestic violence, and possession of narcotics. Could you guys fix her? Do you think you guys could fix her? What do you think? Let's continue. Oh, yeah. This is from the mod that I just banned, right? Merry Christmas, Dragon Fat. Everyone's been seeing this AI turning like pictures into anime. But why did the AI turn a black kid into a monkey? Why did the AI turn a black kid into a monkey? All right. We always knew that AI was racist, eh? Man legally changes his gender to identify as a woman so he can retire 5 years earlier in Argentina. Wow. Modern problems require modern solutions, guys. Tax worker Sergio Lazarovich, 60 years old, recently changed gender to become Sergia. Jesus. An Argentinian tax worker who changed his gender on official documents after claiming to identify as a female actually did it to retire earlier. He's 60 years old, a government worker from the northern province of Salta, applied to change her gender in June last year, having lived for decades as Sergio. The change was approved recently, but a relative has since come forward to accuse Sergia of lying and trying to cheat the pension system. Argentinian law allows any person to change their gender on identity documents to match their self-perception, without having to provide evidence of hormone treatment or gender reassignment surgery. Wow. The law allows women to retire on a state pension at 60, while men have to work until 65. Yeah. Literally, modern problems require modern solutions, guys. Wild turkeys are wreaking havoc on New Jersey neighborhoods. Okay, by the way, look at how many of you hypocritical fucks are like properly gendering this person by saying her. All right? If you can say her to this person, you can say her to your coworker. You fucking mongoloids. Wild turkeys are wreaking havoc in New Jersey neighborhoods. The wild turkeys are taking New Jersey neighborhoods by storm. They are hopping fences into backyards, climbing steps and scaling buildings, climbing onto roofs, or standing by front doors. Some New Jersey residents have seen mad dashes to their vehicles as part of their daily routine as they avoid wild animals in their aggressively territorial ways. Wow. By 1977, turkeys had all but disappeared from the New Jersey area because of the normal hunting practices. It was around this time that the New Jersey Division of Fish and Wildlife released 22 turkeys into the wild. Hoping to restore the population, residents are witnessing firsthand how successful the project has been. Turkeys are a highly adaptable bird that can live in many different habitats. Wow. Too many turkeys, guys. Too many turkeys. Sloan explains that there are programs to relocate problem turkeys, but only if they are causing damage, like tearing up landscapes or denting vehicles with their sharp beaks. If they're not doing damage, we can't relocate them. It's no different than a cardinal flying into your bird feeder. We wouldn't relocate a cardinal. But the turkeys in the area are crazy, one resident relates. Alice Angelo, a resident of New Jersey's Holiday City, notes that she had had 3 encounters with these wild animals in recent months. She isn't sure if it was the same one, even though the encounters all took place in the same area. The encounters occurred at the retirement village in the Toms River area. The first encounter happened last spring as a woman was heading home from work. Agnello remembers hearing a strange noise as she was pulling into her driveway. As she got out of the car, and Agnello noticed a turkey at the back of the vehicle. I grabbed my pocketbook, got inside the garage, and hit the close button. A couple of weeks later, the same woman was driving her pet chihuahua to the vet when a turkey darted out in front of the road. Later, the same thing happened, only this time, the bird began to peck at the vehicle. Oh my god. Seems he wanted either me or my car. I'm a coward, I'm not brave. The fucking attacking turkeys, guys. Turkeys are known to attack vehicles because they mistake their own reflections for another bird. The males are dominant. They think they see another male, so it's time to fight. Holy fuck. Turkeys, guys. Not even once. Anyway, that's the end of the article. Man accused of killing Tupelo store clerk charged with capital murder. I think we talked about this, where a guy just like offed someone. We talked about it a few months ago. He just offed someone in a store. Like, fucking disgusting. Yep. Chris Copeland, 26 years old, of Tupelo, is charged with capital murder, meaning he's eligible for the death penalty. He tried to rob a Chevron store on Sunday morning, September 11th. During the attempted robbery, he allegedly shot Parmveer Singh, 33, of Tupelo, in the head. Fuck. During his court appearance, Copeland pretended to make a purchase, and Singh was behind the counter. Singh surrendered some money, opened a safe for Copeland. Copeland then ordered Singh to the floor, jumped over to the counter, shot him. He then ripped out what he believed to be surveillance footage and left the store. With 27 years in law enforcement, this may be one of the worst ones I've ever seen. The victim was literally executed in the back of the head inside his store while he was trying to make a living. It is absolutely outrageous. The prosecutor said it best. It's monstrous. Copeland has a criminal history. He had previously faced burglary and larceny charges. He was free on MDOC probation at the time of his arrest. What was the original story? Let's see if I remember this. Store clerk shot in the head during a robbery. Fuck, dude. Like, you already had him open the safe for you. Why'd you have to kill him? Fucking hell, man. This is local to me. This happened in my area. Teen asks for help disposing body on Instagram video chat. Is then arrested for homicide. Joshua Cooper, 16, has been charged as an adult with criminal homicide, possessing instruments of crime, and tampering with evidence. The Zoomers aren't sending their best, guys. Also, this kid could literally transition. Jesus Christ. Why are so many like young males feminized right now? What the fuck? Okay. Pennsylvania teen. Wait, Pennsylvania? I thought this was local to me. Maybe just because my local news is reporting on it? Okay. A Pennsylvania teen has been arrested after allegedly killing a girl and using Instagram to ask for help with disposing the body. They received a call from a woman who said her daughter was shown the victim's dead body by a 16-year-old acquaintance via an Instagram chat. During the video chat, the 16-year-old stated he had just killed someone. He then flipped the video image and showed the legs and feet of someone covered in blood. The young man then asked the teen for help in disposing the body. Fucking hell. How stupid do you have to fucking be? The officers entered the home and found a young girl dead from a gunshot wound lying on the bathroom floor. There were also indications that substantial steps were taken to clean up the crime scene. And he was charged as an adult with criminal homicide, possessing instruments of a crime, and tampering with evidence. All right. Fucking hell. The victim was a 13-year-old girl. Jesus Christ. Jesus. Jailed man, 81 years old, acted as a getaway driver because he felt isolated. That's one reason to get into a life of crime, I guess. An 81-year-old man who acted as a getaway driver for a violent drug dealer because he felt isolated has been jailed. Ian Hemmons, a retired burger van driver from Chichester, West Sussex, helped the county lines dealer to escape the scene of a knife attack. The retiree was sentenced to 9 months in prison at Portsmouth Crown Court after being found guilty of assisting an offender. Alleged to be Mahmoud Sami, who has fled the country to Bahrain. Hemmons drove Sami and his co-drug dealer, Akeem Adebayo, to Bognor Regis in... I don't fucking know any of these goddamn names. The court heard that Sami and Adebayo had been involved in the stabbing of rival drug dealer Dimitri Semelis, who was left with life-threatening injuries. A dispute had broken out, which led to Sami and Adebayo chasing Mr. Semelis with families with young children were nearby. Adebayo then held Mr. Semelis on the ground, shouting, "Just fucking stab him," as Sami stabbed the victim 5 or 6 times. Holy shit. The victim was left with a potentially fatal punctured lung and was lucky he was treated so quickly and successfully. Miss Packham said that Sami had been in contact with Hemmons, who arranged to pick him up in his car. So, this old man, who's so lonely, he's like, yeah, fellas, I'll drive your getaway vehicle for you. What the fuck? He was seen to sprint to the car, jumped in the back of the car, and disappeared into the footwell. The assisting the offender was effective, as it not only took Mr. Sami from the scene and prevented his arrest, it then allowed Mr. Sami to leave the area and then the country. The judge told Hemmons, "You assisted an offender by driving him away from the scene when you knew he must have been involved in a serious assault. You saw blood on him, and you undoubtedly knew that he had been involved in drug dealing. But your involvement was considerably more than this one journey. You made several journeys on that day and on the night before. You would have been aware that you were being used as a driver whose age and appearance would have been unlikely to draw attention. It's unusual to find a man of Mr. Hemmons' background should be in court at his age for a matter of this nature. It's very strange." The lawyer has said that his client's isolation has led to his involvement, explaining that the defendant admits he likes talking to people, and that's why this has come about. Oh. Damn. I mean, fuck, what do you say to that? Like, obviously he shouldn't have done it, but he's like an old lonely man. It's like, yeah, fellas. Yeah. If you pretend to be my sons, I'll drive your getaway car. All right, Grandpa. Fallout TV show has a fresh story separate from the games. It's going to be shit. That's all you need to know. It's going to be shit. It's going to be updated for modern audience. It's going to be shit. Amazon's Fallout TV show will tell a fresh story completely separate from the games. Bethesda director and executive producer of the Fallout TV series, Todd Howard, said he had been turned off by previous adaptation offers that only wanted to transfer the story of Fallout 3 or 4 into a film. When the idea was proposed to tell a new story adjacent to the events of the games, however, he got on board. When people wanted to make a movie, they wanted to tell the story of Fallout 3 or tell the story of Fallout 4, and it was meh. For this, it was, hey, let's do something that exists in the world of Fallout. Oh no. It's not retelling a game story. It's basically an area of the map. Let's tell a story here that fits in the world that we've built, doesn't break any of the rules, can reference things in the games, but it isn't a retelling. It exists in the same world, but it's its own unique thing, so it adds to it. While also people who haven't played the games, who can't experience how crazy cool Fallout is, can watch the series. I have a feeling it's going to be shit, guys. I just have a feeling it's going to be shit. Todd Howard! YouTube says it has concluded a test that saw as many as 10 unskippable ads in one break. Oh my god, guys, 10 ads? Who would ever do that? I don't know. Guys, who would ever run 10 ads on their show? It's not refreshing fast enough for me to do 10. Fuck. Who would ever run 10 ads? Who could be a monster like that? Here, let me just... Can you Can you hear my mouse? Who would ever be? Come on, mouse, cooperate. Hold on, I'll just move them. I'll move the mic towards the mouse then. Who? Okay, that's enough. That's enough nonsense. All right. The experience of watching YouTube has been infiltrated by ads over the years as a means of maintaining the platform and supporting creators financially. Now, though, it really seems YouTube is pushing the boundaries of ads. There's as many as 10 skippable ads during a single break. Holy fuck. YouTube, why? Ad breaks on YouTube videos typically appear before a video begins, as well as during that video if the creator allows it. Generally, these breaks can last as little as a few seconds or go as long as a few minutes, but longer ads usually come with the option to skip that ad after a set period. Over the past month or two, though, some YouTube viewers have noted that advertisements on the platform have been expanding greatly in length and quantity, especially in unskippable formats. Yeah, man, I've noticed this too. Like, look at how many fucking ads are here. Look at this. 6 out of 10, unskippable. Like, fuck me, dude. I mean, to be fair, this doesn't matter too much. I've noticed it too, and it's like, fuck, it's fucking awful. Here, I'll BRB. I'm gonna go to the washroom. I'll be back in like 30 seconds. BRB. Okay, back. Sorry. Let's go to the next one. Animal Rebellion protesters have been thrown out after targeting Salt Bay's London restaurant. The Animal Rebellion group, an offshoot of Extinction Rebellion, said that 8 people entered the Nusret Steakhouse. Jesus. Oh, fuck you. Wait, there's a video. Let's just watch the video. Let's watch the video. Full screen it, you fuck. Why are you loading when it's already here? Play it. Why is nothing working? You fucking... You know what? I don't care. Fuck you. There we go. Okay. A video showed staff at the restaurant carrying protesters out of the eatery and into the street. Wow. The protest group said in a press release that it is calling for a plant-based food system and a mass rewilding. Jesus Christ, dude. Restaurants like these are a symbol of a broken system. While 2 million people are relying on food banks in the UK, influencer chefs are selling gold-plated steaks for more than £1,000. Steaks and other red meats that we know carry the highest environmental impacts. Fuck these people, dude. Also, look at them. They're just being carried out. It's like, get the fuck out of here. Fuck you. Toss them into the street. Don't give them their coats. Like, just fucking assholes, man. Get the fuck out. Same energy as those people who are like gluing their hands to the Mona Lisa and shit. Missing Long Island cat returns home and rings her owner's doorbell. Oh, that's kind of wholesome. A lost cat on Long Island. found her way home after several days and rang her owner's doorbell, leading to a heartwarming reunion recorded on video. 8-year-old Lily the cat enjoys spending time outdoors and exploring. She owned the block in her old neighborhood, but she always made sure to come back home. That all changed when her family moved to a new neighborhood in Mastic Beach. I was really nervous about bringing her to a new area with how she would react. Lily was right to be worried. After 2 weeks of moving in, she went missing. Normally she comes home, but this time it felt different, and I didn't think that Lily was coming home. About 4 days after Lily went missing, Whitley and her family were sitting at home in the evening when their Ring doorbell rang. Whitley said she and her family were startled, wondering who was at their doorstep that late at night. To their surprise, Lily's face popped up on the TV screen and the Alexa device. The cat can be seen in the Ring video pawing at the doorbell, seemingly begging to be let inside. Wow, guys, that's pretty wholesome. Oh my god! Whitley can be heard when she goes outside and is reunited with Lily. Hey, where's the video? Where's the video? Isn't it in here? Is this it? No, let's get set up. Come on. Where's the...
Is cosmetic dentist Dr. Daniel Rubenstein.
This is a fucking dentist. What is this dentist bullshit? Where's the video? Okay. I fucking hate, like, every news website ever. Here it is. Found it. Meow. Aww. Welcome back. That's something heartwarming, isn't it? Ah, there we go. Canada's wild pigs threaten absolute destruction. We got turkeys and cats and pigs today. Wild pigs are going to deal absolute destruction in Canada. Experts says that pigs are the worst invasive wild mammal on the planet, carrying diseases, destroying crops, and contaminating water. The Canadian city of Edmonton may be soon hog-tied with a problem that it won't be able to barbecue its way out of. Wild pigs have been spreading across central Alberta's prairies, and if left unchecked, could soon find themselves in the river valley of Edmonton. According to Ryan Brook, a University of Saskatchewan's professor studying the pigs, the creatures are an ecological train wreck and would cause absolute destruction if they made their way to the river valley, which is abundant in water and forest cover. They tear up the forest floor, native grasslands get destroyed, wetlands, water systems. They feed on anything where they can. They will kill any pets for sure. Wild pigs are the worst invasive mammal on the planet. As omnivores, the pigs will eat virtually anything, including squirrels, birds, eggs, roadkill, live deer, and pets. Weighing up to 100 kilograms, the pigs sustain blistering winters by building pigloos, or burrows that they heap with cattail plants. They wallow in wetlands and tear them up to make their nests. They contaminate water with mud and pathogens. They destroy crops. They are a public safety hazard. They can transmit disease to humans, pets, livestock, and wildlife. Holy fuck, dude. Okay, a lot of this is more like just kind of filler, but the pigs are coming. They're coming to Canada, dude. Anti-vaxxer nurse who injected up to 8,600 elderly patients with salt water instead of COVID vaccine walks free from the German court. Hold on. Isn't salt water bad for humans? Like, forget about the anti-vax part of it. Shouldn't you not be injecting people with salt water? I don't know. An anti-vaxxer nurse, okay, you guys read this, Red Cross nurse Auntie T, who's 39, jabbed thousands of elderly patients at a vaccine center in Germany with what she told them was the biotech Pfizer vaccine, but was just a saltwater solution. Hold on, everyone's saying based in the chat. Hold on though. Wait, no, she told them was the vaccine. Hold on, this isn't based, guys. This isn't good. Okay, like it's one thing if like there's an anti-vax patient and is like, I don't really want to get the vaccine, but my job is making me. And then you have some anti-vax nurse, and the nurse is like, don't worry, fam, I gotcha. I'll give you a hand. I'll inject you with this salt water, and we'll just pretend that it was actually a vaccine, and they're both in on it, right? But these are people who seem to want the vaccine. And they're like, please give me the vaccine. And then they go, yes, this is the vaccine, but she's lying. That's not good. Like she's lying to the people who actually want the vaccine. That's not good. No, not based. No. You're wrong. Auntie T jabbed up to 8,600 patients who were mainly hospital employees, educators, and doctors above the age of 70, leaving them with no protection. Police told the court she was able to introduce the saline solution undetected because she was in charge of vaccine and syringe preparation during her shift. But after more than a month, she was reported by another employee who saw her use the saline solution instead of the vaccine on 6 patients. The 39-year-old had additionally posted several social media posts where she openly emphasized her skeptical views regarding COVID-19 vaccines. When questioned by police, she admitted to using saline solution, but had said she only did it because she had accidentally broken a vial containing 6 shots and was ashamed to tell her colleagues. She had also claimed it was a one-time incident, but was immediately sacked, and after antibody tests carried out on the affected people confirmed authority suspicions. She also has her license to work as a nurse. All right, it has been revoked. Okay, listen, guys. All right, okay. It's one thing if you have an anti-vax patient who gets help from an anti-vax nurse to like not get the vaccine. Okay, it's another thing to tell someone who wants the vaccine that you're giving them the vaccine and you don't actually give it to them. That's actually bad, right? This isn't based. This is actually like a massive fucking violation here. Nope, not based. This is bad. Nope. Anyway, she's been charged with 15 counts of intentional assault at the beginning of the trial, but 9 of them were dropped due to no evidence. But the rest of them, the other 6, the 6 that they actually have the evidence for, yep. Not based because the people didn't consent. Dev can't tell people are trolling with based. Listen, some people aren't. And that's the rub. But most of you are. Yeah, most of you are trolling. It's okay though. But yeah, this is fucked, all right? Everyone on social media is like, hero, this is a hero. And I'm like, no, she's not. There's no heroism here. Let's see. Missing dog who spent 2 months in the cave. Another animal, another like cat. Hold on. Missing dog who spent 2 months in cave is so happy to be home again. After spending months at the bottom of a 12-foot pit, a 13-year-old dog named Abby is finally home with her family. She's just in a cave. An unsuspecting group of recreational cavers discovered the missing senior pup deep within Missouri's Moore Cave system on a project weekend with the Cave Research Foundation. She was just balled up on the floor. All she could do was lift her head. Aw, look at this dog. Dude. Hold on. Who should I raid after this, by the way? I know I'm going to do my own gaming stream tonight to make up for last night, but who should I raid in the meantime? Who's currently streaming for redirects? Kibbs is live. I could always raid Kibbs. Rosa and Tomo and Adam and Sitch are all going to be going live soon-ish. I'll see later. I'll see when we get closer to the end. When they first discovered the dog, the lead caver of the group snapped a picture of Abby, then exited the cave and began recruiting help for the entirely vertical rescue. First, he contacted Assistant Fire Chief Rob Calhoun, who went door to door asking neighbors if they recognized the dog in the picture. One of them said, "Yeah, I think that's the neighbor's dog right over there." And so they got a hold of her owner. Keene recruited Haley to help assist with the rescue. A dangerous mission for both rescuers and the pup. Abby had been in the cave for a long time, and the only way to get her out was to lift her up through the narrow opening she initially fell through. Oh, jeez. Hold on here. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Just one thing got to do real quick. Okay. Sorry. For this mission, Haley had to come up with a way to lift Abby off the ground without causing her too much stress. He grabbed an empty duffel bag and lined it with a fluffy blanket. And just put her in it. There she is, in the duffel bag. The nervous dog surprised both of her rescuers by climbing into the duffel bag all by herself and falling asleep. It was warm, dry, and soft. She was very comfortable. Haley and Keene zipped the duffel bag up with Abby's head sticking out, and slowly started the process of getting Abby vertically out of the cave. All right, up you go. The climb out of the cave was difficult. Rescuers only had a hand line, which they secured at the top and dropped vertically through the passageway to pull themselves and Abby upwards. They took turns climbing ahead of each other, hand over hand, as they placed the duffel bag on the nearest ledge, then reached down to lift Abby up. After 90 minutes of climbing, they finally got to the top of the pit with the duffel bag. And there she is. She's out. Assistant Fire Chief Calhoun reached in and grabbed the duffel bag from the rescuers and held Abby in his arms as he carried her into the daylight. The pup's pupils were still very dilated from the months she spent in the complete darkness, and she was extremely skinny, but Haley found other injuries when he did a quick medical assessment of Abby's post-rescue. Abby's dad showed up to the scene of the rescue shortly after and was shocked to see his dog after 2 long months without her. Oh. It all worked out. She was still very thin and weak after 1 week, but he noticed one big change. She barked at me when I drove up. For a while, she wasn't even barking, but I think she's getting back to herself now. It all worked out. Oh, guys. Paralympian trying to get a wheelchair ramp says that Veterans Affairs employee offered her assisted dying. Those of you who haven't watched my Euthanasia in Canada video gotta go watch that shit because it's a fucking shit show right now over here. A veteran and former Paralympian told a parliamentary committee that a caseworker from the Veterans Affairs Canada offered her medical assistance in dying a week after the Veterans Affairs minister confirmed that at least 4 other veterans were offered the same thing. So you got these doctors who are saying, "Oh, you want treatment? Here's a possible treatment. We'll euthanize you." Fuck you guys, man. Retired Corporal Christine Gauthier, who has been trying to get a wheelchair ramp installed at her home for the past 5 years, testified on Thursday that a caseworker told her that they could give her assisted dying instead, even offering to supply the made equipment for her. "I was completely shocked and in despair. It is remotely just what they're doing, exhausting us to the point of no return." Gauthier said the offer for MAID came during a phone call with a VAC caseworker where she was describing her deteriorating condition. In 1989, Gauthier suffered permanent damage to her knees and spine after jumping in a deep hole while training on an obstacle course. "It was just getting too much and unbearable. And the person at the VAC mentioned at that point, 'Well, we can assist you with assisted dying now if you'd like.' And I was just shocked because I was like, 'Are you serious? Like that easy? You're gonna be helping me to die, but you won't help me to live?" Gauthier competed in the 2016 Paralympic Games and the 2016 Invictus Games as a para-canoeist. Told the committee she sent letters detailing her experiences to Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and Veterans Affairs Minister Lawrence MacAulay. A spokesperson for McCulley said Veterans Affairs is taking the issue very seriously, while adding that providing advice on MAID is not a VAC service. Our employees have no role or mandate to recommend or raise it. Considerations for MAID are the subject of discussions between a patient and their primary care providers to determine appropriateness in each individual context. Well, apparently, When asked about Gauthier's experience being offered MAID, Trudeau called it absolutely unacceptable. We are following up with investigations. We are changing protocols to ensure what should seem obvious to all of us, that it is not the place of Veterans Affairs Canada to offer them medical assistance in dying as a matter of course. The issue of medical assistance in dying is a deeply personal one. It is a deeply difficult one for individuals and families to take on an extraordinary challenging moment in their lives, and something that we have to ensure is gotten right. Listen, this has been a shit show for the past few months in Canada, like a huge fucking controversy. That's why I did the video on it. There is a lot of abuse of the euthanasia program in Canada right now by Canada's health service. And it is not good. It is not fucking good. It's fucked. Just fucked, guys. Okay, this is like, Jesus Christ. Okay. This is just like the committee. Okay, no, this is all like just context, but we have the story here. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. Amazon facility closes temporarily due to bed bugs. Oh. What? Amazon officials say they had to close one of their facilities in Texas due to bed bugs. The facility is in Amarillo, and the temporary closure is effective immediately. We've temporarily closed our site in Amarillo after 20% of bed bugs in the building. Just out of curiosity, bed bugs in an Amazon building. Are we talking like they sell beds on Amazon, and now those beds are infected with bed bugs? Or is it like the wagies who are stuck in the Amazon wage cage, they sleep at the Amazon facilities too? They sleep there, so it's bed bugs. Okay. I don't know, dude. Yeah, this is kind of strange, isn't it? There's some weird things going on here with the bed bugs, dude. Controversial energy official charged with stealing women's luggage at MSP. I did a video on this person, Sam Brinton, the first openly gender fluid individual in a federal government leadership position under Biden. He's their nuclear guy. All right. I did a video on him because he was put through some really horrendous conversion therapy when he was younger. He was tortured with ice. He was tortured with electric shocks. He was tortured with burning to try and cure him of being gay. It did not cure him of being gay. In fact, he seems to be even more flamboyant than he would have been probably. But despite that bit of history for him, he is also competent at his role. You know, he went to school for nuclear stuff. And his promotion to this position was considered like a big deal. It's like, oh my God, Biden's so progressive. He finally promoted the first openly gender fluid person to this position. All right. And he's like, I'm going to show the world that we're not all weird degenerates and everything's fine. And guess what? This person was charged with felony theft after allegedly stealing a woman's luggage at an airport. Huh. All right. Okay. As one of, if not the very first openly gender fluid individual in the federal government, I was welcomed with open arms into the Department of Energy, all the way up to the Secretary, with whom I shared the stage on a Pride Month celebration panel just today. Brendan wrote on Twitter last year. He said he's not a Biden employee, but instead was hired as a career employee in the senior executive service. Brinton accepted the job in February and began in June. He also was an anti-conversion therapy activist, probably due to his abuse suffered in that program, who taught Kink 101 workshops on college campuses. Yep, this is him and his dogs at the college Kink 101 workshop. Okay. He described his pup play fetish in a 2016 Metro Weekly article. But I mean, at least it's on a college campus, right? Because there's no kids involved. It's still adults, so all right. Weird, but all right. You have the right to do it. He's talking about being a handler of human pups. He is also a member of the sacrilegious drag queen society called Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, which mocks Catholic nuns with names like Sister Porn Again, Sister Chastity Boner, Sister Raw's Erection. Brinton goes by the name Sister Radioactive. That's actually pretty good. Radioactive. All right. I accept. I accept this. But Sister Radioactive attended the group's 2021 Lavender Mass, where he paid tribute to Daddy Fauci. Daddy Fauci. Brinton once talked with college students about how he enjoys tying up his significant other like a table and eating his dinner on him while he watches Star Trek. All right. So this is the history, and I went through the history in my video on him because there's some weird shit in here, yeah, but he also had a really bad time with conversion therapy. Like, I'm not surprised this is how he turned out if he was like tortured by really homophobic parents. Like, I'm not surprised. But the charges. Law enforcement at the Minneapolis St. Paul International Airport were alerted to a missing suitcase in the baggage claim area on September 16th. The adult female victim said she flew into MSP on a Delta flight from New Orleans and went to retrieve her checked bag at Carousel 7. Airport records confirmed the navy blue Vera Bradley roller bag arrived at 4:40 p.m., but was missing from the carousel. So law enforcement reviewed video surveillance footage from the baggage claim area and observed Brinton removing a navy blue roller bag from Carousel 7. The complaint says Brinton removed a luggage tag from the bag, placed it into a handbag he was carrying, and then left the area at a quick pace. So he was caught stealing the bag, not just like, oh, it's the wrong bag, I accidentally grabbed it, sorry, looks like mine. Nope. He took the tag off, put it into his handbag, and stole the bag. Brinton arrived at MSP Airport around 4:27 p.m., but did not check a bag, meaning he had no reason to visit baggage claim. Police showed the surveillance video to the victim, and she confirmed it was her bag. Brinton left the airport in an Uber for a stay at the Intercontinental St. Paul Riverfront Hotel, where he checked in with the blue bag. He returned to MSP on September 18th with the bag in hand for a departing flight back to Washington, D.C. Surveillance video from Dulles International Airport shows Brinton traveling with the bag on an October 9 return flight trip from Europe. The bag and its contents were valued at $2,325. Police questioned Brinton about the missing bag in October 9th phone call and asked him directly if he took anything that did not belong to him. Not that I know of, Brinton responded. He later admitted to taking the bag, but said the clothes inside were his. If I have taken the wrong bag, I am happy to return it, but I don't have any clothes for another individual. That was my clothes when I opened the bag. Brinton called the officer back 2 hours later and apologized for not being completely honest. This time, Brinton said he took the bag because he was tired and he thought it was his. He allegedly told the police he didn't realize the bag didn't belong to him, but he opened it up at the hotel. He got nervous and didn't know what to do. Worried that people would think he stole the bag, he told police he left the victim's clothes in the drawers in the hotel room. Brinton said he brought the bag back to D.C. with him because it would have been weird to leave a bag in the hotel room. Police told Brinton how to return the bag to Delta, but as of October 27th, the victim still had not received her bag back. Police also learned that no clothing was recovered from the hotel room. His court hearing is scheduled for December 19th. All right. And the Department of Energy has declined to comment, and Brenton's attorneys have also refused to comment. So what do you think? Mistake? Like, everyone is saying this guy, like, clearly stole some woman's clothes because he has a fetish. But how do you know what clothes to steal? How do you know what bag to grab? Like, I don't fucking know why he did this, you know? I don't know. Netflix removes the LGBTQ tag from the Jeffrey Dahmer series. I mean, Jeffrey Dahmer was LGBTQ, wasn't he? Okay. Okay. Netflix has made the decision to drop the LGBTQ tag from Dahmer after experiencing backlash from viewers. The series about the Milwaukee serial killer was categorized with the LGBTQ tag, but was recently removed following criticism from the community. Listen, you don't actually have your LGBTQ card if you're not the right type of gay person, I get. Guess that's how it is. The streaming platform tags every show and movie to make search queries easier for subscribers. Searching LGBTQ brings up shows like Heartstopper, Young Royals, Uncoupled, Alex Strangelove, and many more. The series and films tagged with LGBTQ showcase characters that identify with the LGBTQ community, giving representation to the often marginalized group. Okay. Tagging the Dahmer series with LGBTQ made some in the community upset that is not the representation they want. It is known that Dahmer targeted men and boys, with some being from the LGBTQ community, and watching the series has added to the trauma of the victims' families. Wow. Netflix has tagged the Dahmer series with ominous and dark, and it is unclear why they removed the LGBTQ tag. Whew. Yeah, if OJ was black, then Dahmer is LGBT. That's true. That's true, you know? But still. Fuck. That's funny. Respect everyone's identities, guys. All right. I can't keep trolling. What's this? Oh, fuck. Should I get this book, by the way? Carlos Ulysses de Senta's new book, Circuits of the Sacred, examines transnational Black Latinx Caribbean immigrant queer life and spirit. Circuits of the Sacred, a fagotology in the Black Latinx Caribbean. What do you guys think? I don't know if I want to spend a single fucking dime on this horseshit garbage, but I do have a P.O. box if you want to mail me this shit. Read it and give it a review. Maybe burning books was a bad idea. Gobbledygook. Okay. Oh yeah, this is the final one. North Carolina cop who shot dead a man 18 years old with schizophrenia during a mental health call said, "I don't have time for this shit." Wow. I don't have time for this shit. Before he opened fire. Jesus Christ. Keith Vidal was gunned down by Southport Police Detective Byron Vassy in his home in Boiling Spring Lakes on January 5th, 2014. I guess the trial's now happening, so that's why it's 2014. Vidal's mother, Mary Wilsley, spoke out this week, describing how the shooting turned her life upside down and haunts her 7 years later in an article. Wilsley, now 56 and living in Long Island, New York, still remembers the day of the shooting vividly. She had tried to have Vidal committed to a hospital a week earlier after finding a suicide note. But when the nurse refused to take him, the mother had no choice but to monitor him herself, leaving his side only for bathroom breaks. On the morning of the shooting, when Wilsley returned home from the grocery store and Vidal didn't recognize her, the mother turned to police in hopes they would help her get him the care he needed. We were more concerned that Keith was going to hurt himself, Wilsley explained to Insider. We were never concerned for our safety because he was never a threat to anybody but himself. But in his own split-second decision, Officer Vassie determined that Vidal did pose a threat and shot him dead at point-blank range. Jesus. Just fucking blew him away. Wilsley said the responding officer should have been fully aware that this was a mental health call, not a situation that warranted use of force. We explained to 911 that we have a child who has schizophrenia, and we wanted to do an involuntary commitment. Two officers arrived first. Wilsley said the officers were patient with their son and tried to de-escalate the situation, as he experienced severe paranoia and clung to a small screwdriver. Vidal stood in the hallway of the home and demanded that the officers leave, before Vassie pulled up 5 minutes later. Wilsley said Vassie, then 44, was wearing plain clothes and didn't identify himself as law enforcement when he entered the home. I didn't even know who he was. I didn't even know he was a cop. He took approximately 8 steps to reach Samantha Chavez and said, "I don't have time for this shit." Vidal fled into a bathroom, and when he came back out, Louis Chavez fired her taser at him on an order from Vassie. The teen fell to the ground, and Thomas and Louis climbed on top of him to take him into custody. So you have Keith on the floor, 2 cops on top of him, another cop to my left, and me and my husband in the hallway. My husband takes the screwdriver out of his hands, and out of the corner of my eye, I see Byron Vassie take out his gun and do a kill shot. My son is laying on the floor in the hallway, bleeding and dead. I watched his eyes roll back in his head. I watched him die. The bullet struck Vidal in his armpit and pierced both of his lungs, killing him almost instantly. Jesus Christ! Holy fuck, dude! Testifying in court 2 years later, Louis Chavez said Vassie opened fire just 14 seconds after she stunned Vidal. The officer also recalled Vassie saying something along the lines of, "I don't have time for this shit," minutes earlier. He blew Samantha Chavez's eardrums out. He could have shot the other officer in the head. All of this taking place in a 3-foot hallway. He put those officers in danger, and you hurt one of those officers, all because he didn't have time for this shit. Vassie was only in the house for 70 seconds before he shot her son. He never assessed the situation. He never saw the person he murdered until he took the gun out and killed him. Vassie was later charged with voluntary manslaughter and was acquitted in 2016. That's bullshit. He told investigators he fired in self-defense, but changed his tune at trial, saying he was protecting other officers. Jesus Christ, dude! Thomas testified in court that Vidal did not pose a threat, noting that the teens could not get up and both of his hands were restrained. Fuck. This is fucking nuts, dude. It was also revealed in court that Vassie had a mix of drugs in his system at the time, including the painkiller hydrocodone, anxiety drug Klonopin, antidepressant Cymbalta, acid reflux medication, and 2 blood pressure medications. So this guy has like a bunch of fucking pills in him. He just goes, "I don't got time for this shit," and blows some kid away. What the fuck, dude? That's some bullshit. Fuck this guy. Fuck this guy, dude. Fuck. What a sad story. R.I.P. I recall liking Gumby, though. Okay. There's my P.O. box. Mail me stuff, guys. Send it to me. Send me your boxes of garbage and junk. I'll open them on the show just for you. Here. My plan is, guys, I'm going to set up Who to Raid right now. I do intend to stream myself later, guys. I'm going to be doing another stream where I play some video games, probably Sonic Frontiers. So come back to the channel in like 3 or 4 hours. Don't you miss it. Fuck Adam and Sitch. Not allowed. You're coming with me. You're coming with me. But for now, I'm going to redirect to somebody else. Who's currently live? Kibbs is live. When is all these streams coming up? You know, Rosa, Tomo, Sitch and Adam, Archcast, actually Tina. Who's starting their streams when? I've rated Kibbs a lot. I want to rate somebody else. Let's see. When does Tomo's stream start? I can't even find the fucking Yumari. Tomo Yumari. When does your stream start? Horse girl. 6 p.m.? That's 3 hours. I can't raid you. How about Rosa? I'll read the final super chats and then we'll go raid somebody, okay? Rosa. Kotal. When do you start, Rosa? 7 p.m.? You guys are all streaming when I stream. Let's see. Actually, Tina. When does Tina start? Because Tina's always fun. Actually, Tina. When do you start? Tina. 3 p.m. That is in 8 minutes. We could go raid Tina. Let's go raid Tina. All right. Kibbs? Kibbs is bickering bunch. Oh, by the way, Tomo, our friend Rav is worried that I am corrupting you. But the truth is, you were always corrupted from the start. Okay. Let's read the final super chats and then we'll go fuck around with don't you dare say bye. No leaving. No leaving allowed. Super chats. By the way, if you want me to say any nonsense, now's your final time to get it in. Super chats. Supers. Let's see what's going on. Well, Tomo, you know that Rav is like a socialist, right? And like, I'm not. I'm like kind of liberal, kind of conservative. Most people are, honestly. Most people aren't like as radical as he is. And he's like, don't convert all the VTubers. And I'm like, fucker. Are you actually all leaving? You fucks. Tidge, you can't. Tidge. No, everyone, no. Oh, hey, Rosa. What's up? Here, I'll mod you too. Here. There you go, Rosa. Okay. Let's see for the super chats. Okay. Okay. $5. Artemis Fowl. According to Dev, you're apparently breaking Canadian law for not referring to the shooter by their preferred pronouns. Fuck him. Real Holtzner, $5. No, Dev, as a customer is being rude, go to your black coworker and have him get Karen arrested for discrimination. That's funny, actually. Artemis Fowl, $10. If you believe it must be that way, Dev, how do you deal with gender fluid people and other people who change their pronouns on the fly? Also, what about people who refer to themselves as animal pronouns? It's like I said. If you are forced to have some sort of connection with these crazies because of like you sign a contract and you're working with them, there's still a reasonableness limit, you know, where you have to like know what the rules are before you can follow them. Right. Stream Troll Mike, $5. Free speech is compelled speech. I'm forced to say whatever I want. That's actually pretty good. Wilson, $10. Thank you. I deal with the pronoun BS like I deal with someone who got established titles. You aren't a lord, and me not calling you one isn't an insult. What you believe is irrelevant. Objective reality is truth. Here's the thing, though. You are not the arbiter of objective reality. You are not. You are just another fucking human who doesn't know what's going on, just like the rest of us. Appeals to objectivity kind of ring hollow from a person who isn't themselves objective. Artemis Fowl, $5. If your argument is responsibility or is reasonability, then you are failing, since reasonability is a spectrum, just like the spectrum you are on, Dev. Fuck you, Artemis. Real Holsteiner, $5. Ask a feminist about dress codes. Also, autism makes detecting tone differences difficult. Looking at you, chat. That's funny. My entire chat's autistic. The only problem that I have with the gender fluid label, Rosa, is like there are girls out there who are clearly just women, right? Like they have the most like exaggerated secondary sexual characteristics, like, you know, giant hips, giant ass, giant fucking titties, long hair, makeup like crazy, like hyper feminine, you know, and they're out here and they're talking about like having a breeding kink where they just want to get fucked and cream pied in constantly. And it's like, also, by the way, I'm gender fluid and I go by they, them. And it's like, what the fuck male is about you? There's nothing male about you whatsoever. I don't fucking buy that gender fluidity shit. Not with them, at least. Is a tomboy? Yeah, fair enough, right? Tomboys are based. The Real Holtznader, $5. Ask a feminist about dress codes. Also, I already read that. Thank you. Artemis Fowl, $5. The issue is that pronoun enforcement is a top-down enforcement, Dev. The reasonable person in the U.S. still thinks that angels exist. Yeah, see, there's some parts of the pronoun enforcement I don't agree with, dude. I'm not gonna fucking agree with everything, but like, I'm not on a fucking team here, man. It's like I can pick out the reasonable parts of each like situation and be like, some of this, but no to that. I can do that because I'm not a fucking ideologue. All right. Artemis Fowl, $2. Riots. Artemis Fowl, $2. I am pro content. Trump is the content. That's true. Like, Trump's like destruction of himself is pretty hilarious. The Real Holtznader. Some dude is bothering me. I'm the dude who's bothering you, dude. Real Holtznader, $5. I think what we are arguing about isn't important as who. Hate speech is ripe for abuse. Other laws could be more neutral. True, right? True. I completely agree with you. Like, hate speech is ripe for abuse. Absolutely. Is Mahler playing God of War? Oh, how come I can't read Mahler? Hold on. Raid Mahler, I mean. Okay. Parker B, $5. You should watch Professor Edward Dutton's video on the Flynn effect. He does videos on evolutionary psychology. So the first minute, those is good. All right, I'll check it out. Thank you. Digital Parker, $5. I read it as Trump pointing out that a fraud is allowing the termination of the Constitution. There wasn't a fraud. Stop coping over 2020. You lost. Fuck. What like a... It's so tiring to see people just so brain dead 2 years later. C. Thomas, the Beeps Peasant, $5. Trump even implying terminating the Constitution is as asinine as MacArthur wanting nukes to win the Korean War. Artemis Fowl, $2. Dev, chat is memeing. Calm down, Italian. I love memeing right back, buddy. That's what we're here for. Real Holsteiner, $5. We ever get a video on the effects of immigration on England from your perspective? Probably. I actually have like a file saved on that for the past 5 years. I've been saving things. We'll see. Pineapple Prime, $2. Trump is right. Dev system's broke. Disagree. Hard disagree. Trump lost. Simple as that. Senenko, $2. Informed consent. Dev medical system failure. What do you mean informed? What the fuck are you talking about? People are like, listen, I want the COVID shot. Give me the COVID shot. And then they'll give it to him. Like, it's ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous. No. Fucking ridiculous. I'm not misreading it, Tidge. I know what's going on. I understand your point. I just don't agree. There's a final few supers, I think. Let's see here. $2 from Rift Person. What if I want to make you say dumb stuff on Game Boomers? Well, drop by tonight in 3 or 4 hours when Dave and I play more Sonic Frontiers. You smexy tomboy. Rosa, are you two gonna bump clams at some point? Snake clam versus horse clam. 50027, $2. Thank you. Hi, I'm Dev. I like poo poo and pee pee. 100%. Sounds good, buddy. Thanks for giving me money to make you say that. Tidge, I swear to fucking God, I'm gonna turn you into a woman if you don't. If you don't figure it out. $10 from Meta S. Reasonableness standard works the same way for all requests. I'm only willing to intervene to the degree I will suffer consequences for your request or action. I don't fully understand what you mean. Maybe I got to think about it a bit. Maybe my brain's not big enough. I don't entirely get it. Where's my spirit animal? No. Okay, Tidge, I genuinely believe that the whole we terminate the Constitution because of the fraud. The fraud gives us reason that we should terminate the Constitution. It's like no. Here's what the fraud here. If there actually was a fraud, like okay, if everything Trump said was true, there should have been a civil war. And the fact that you didn't have your civil war is a failing on you because you guys didn't fight. But it's not true. And whining about the fact that you lost and covering up with all this bullshit is just coke. Just coke. Tomo is sexy, but I am taken. Oh, you have a GF? I've got a GF. She's Jewish, though. And I'll let y'all figure out what I meant by that. Okay, let's go here. Guys, thanks for all the super chats. As always, one final time. You want to send me stuff, send it to that P.O. box. We'll check it out. I'm going to go raid Tina, because she's the only one who's online right now, aside from Kibbs, and fuck Kibbs, he can go get bread. Come back to the channel in like 3 or 4 hours, and I'll play Sonic for you, okay? Dave and I will come together wearing ridiculous Sonic costumes to play more Sonic Frontiers now that the PlayStation 5 is fixed. Thank you for being... One final super chat at the end. Silver Camaro, $5. I kind of want Trump to run in 2024 because I'm still black-pilled on abortion. I still think there's no way the Reds can win. Oh, yeah, absolutely not. Like, Trump has to be crushed before DeSantis can rise, to be honest. All right? Such an Adam's where Wait, no, it's not. Such an Adam doesn't start for another fucking hour, guys. Come on, at least go say hi to Tina. Here. As always, the emoji that you will be using when you raid is coffee and sip. All right, let's go. Thanks for being here, guys. I love you. See you next time. See you in like 3 or 4 hours.